Yeah, we living in a world where the rules don't apply. They say we gotta follow, but we ready to fly. System got us boxed in, trying to keep us small. But we rise like the phoenix, we ain't scared to brawl. They feeding us lies, but we see through the smoke. We're the voice of the people, we're ready to provoke. They want us to divide, but we're stronger as one. Breaking chains, taking names, yeah, we getting it done. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. Fist in the air, yeah, we taking control. No more silence. Let's look up here. Together we rise. Let them know we're here. Riders ignite. And it worked. Inspire joys and laughter. Looking untold. A burden we carry alone. A story left untold. They taught us to split everything, but not the heavy pain. He lingers in the shadows. A darkness we can't explain. We're left with shattered pieces, trying to mend what's lost. They taught us how to split everything, but not the heavy cost. We learned to divide our dreams and multiply our fears. But the ache in our hearts only grew with passing years. They gave us all the answers, except how to heal. The scars that run so deep, wounds that time can't seal. Yeah, they taught us how to share, but only the good. Smiles and laughter like we understood. But deep down inside, there's a storm we hide. Pain in our hearts, we're just trying to ride. Put on a mask, yeah, we play the part, but nobody sees the cracks in the hearts. We share our dreams, the highs and the lows, but when it comes to hurt, we just close the doors. We share the fun times, deflect the pain, laughing in the sunshine, dancing in the rain. But the shadows linger, they creep and they crawl, breaking us down, but we don't share at all. We got hate in our hearts, but we keep concealed. Taught to share the joy, but wounds, they stay unhealed. They say love was easy to divide, but the heartache never subsides. We tried to split everything into two, but the pain lingers strong and true. Shared our dreams, divided our fears, but the sorrow remained through the years. No matter how we tried to let go, the weight of our suffering continued to grow. Now we're apart trying to heal, but some wounds are too deep to conceal. They said splitting up will set us free, yet the pain lingers in you and me. In a world where rules are set in stone, the system's grip tightens, we're not alone. Bound by chains of majestic greed, against the odds we fight to be free. Mighty forces try to keep us down, but our spirits rise, refusing to drown. Defying norms, breaking through the mold. In this battle of wills, our story is told. As the clash continues day by day, we stand united, come what may. For in this world where rules don't apply, our strength and unity will never die. They try to silence our dreams, but we're loud and clear. With every step forward, conquering fear. They can't hold us back. We're the fire and the flame in this battle for freedom. We're all in the game. They say it's just a game, but we're playing for keeps. With the strength of the many, we're shattered our leaps. No more puppets on strings, we're cutting the ties. With our eyes on the prize, we're reaching for the skies. So let's stand together, let's break down the walls. In this fight for our future, we'll answer the calls. From the ashes, we'll rise like a storm. Riders ignite. It's us versus the system, and we're ready to fight. They built the walls, but we're digging tunnels. With every step we take, we're shaking the bundles. From the streets to the courts, we're raising our voice. In a world full of noise, we're making the choice. They want to keep us blind, but we see the light. Knowledge is power, and we're ready to fight. From the corners of the city to the halls of the state, where the heartbeat of the struggle can't afford to wait. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. It's in the air, yeah, we're taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. They taught us to split everything, but not the heavy pain. It lingers in the shadows, a darkness we can't explain. We're left with shattered pieces, trying to mend what's lost. They taught us how to split everything, but not the heavy cost. Now we stand here broken, searching for some light, hoping for a way out of this never-ending night. But through it all, we find strength in each other's embrace. Together we'll face tomorrow and find solace in this space. They say don't bring the drama, keep it all light. But every night I'm fighting these demons in sight. Whispers in my mind, yeah, they echo when they shout. While I'm smiling on the surface, I'm breaking without. We're sharing the laughter, but what's underneath? A battlefield of sorrow, a war with no peace. We're warriors in silence, but nobody knows how the pain that we carry just grows and it grows. In a world of lessons learned, they taught us how to stand and burn. But the scars we hide deep inside are the ones that never subside. We follow all rules they made, but the emptiness never fades. Their wounds like knives, cutting through even wounds that always grew. They painted pictures of success, but couldn't fix what's left on us. Now we're left to bear the strain of the pain that lingers, never wanes. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. It's in the air, yeah, we're taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. So remember this moment, remember this face, remember this sound. We're the voice of the future, and we won't back down. In the face of oppression, we'll stand up tall. It's us versus the system. All right, y'all. Welcome to Philly, baby.
Let me welcome all of y'all to the Writers for Life brings to the Let's Talk About It podcast, yo. You know, when it comes to the podcast, we talk about everything, man. This is another episode of Off My Chest, Man to the Night. Let me give a big shout out to SBK. I know he's in the chat, man. How is everybody doing? I know there's not a lot of people in this joint right now. Blessings to Daniel Berrio Sports Highlights. How you doing? And once again, a big shout out to SBK. Yo, it is a lot going on, and I want to touch on a little bit in a minute about the 12-year-old girl that passed away here in Philadelphia after a SEPTA in a SEPTA bus. Well, after she got off the SEPTA bus, and then what's happening here in Philadelphia with the Uber Eats drivers, the what is it called, the Door Dashes and all that. I think a lot of people here in Philadelphia is going to get replaced by these little robots, all right? Those Door Dashers, Uber Eats riders, and much more. We're going to touch into that in a minute, all right? But before we do, man, it's not a lot of, it's not just in these streets that, it's not just these streets that are going crazy, all right? Listen, these YouTube streets, baby. All right, it's like watching, and how can I say, a whole circus where the clowns, hired themselves. I swear, I swear, like, how can I say, only in this so-called sector, I don't even know what people want to call it. No more. It's been called so many names. Like, listen, all I know is that when I log into YouTube, right, I click on any video that pops up. There's so many videos. You see where I'm coming from? I ain't a part of no sector. But anyways, right? Only in the so-called sector do you see grown adults, right? Grown adults, people with bills, all right? Back pain and expired warranties, all right? Acting like they're, how can I say, they're on recess fighting over who gets the last juice box. It's sad and funny at the same damn time. Because you don't know, whether to laugh, right? Or to cry or call somebody's mama. Like, how we got, a whole community of adults acting like, how can I say, they never graduated from the sandbox. Huh. Like, why do y'all think grown folks love drama more than their own peace? But it's a lot going on, all right? It really is a lot going on these social media platforms, right? And I want to touch on this, right, before we touch on the Philly current news, all right? And I want to, touch on, we got to do some Papa Duck reactions, all right? But before we get into that, all right, let's finish, talking about these YouTube streets, all right, real quick, right? And, it's crazy, like I said, we got grown folks out here, right? Communities of adults acting like they never graduated from the sandbox. And the wildest part, they fighting over money. And, not real money either, right? Like, digital currency, boy, I tell you. Listen, not pay your mortgage type of money. I'm talking about YouTube checks, right? After taxes. Money folks expose, like, money. Folks are out here exposing each other, doxing each other, dragging each other. Like, they're all auditioning for, Love and Hip Hop. Wi-Fi edition. Like, everybody want to be number one, but number one at what? Being messy, being loud, being chronically, how can I say, online. Chill. Oh, I tell you, if this is, the race, I'm sitting on the sidelines with popcorn and a helmet on some real shit, all right? When did being messy become a personality trait for grown adults? I don't know. I can't. I can never answer that. Meanwhile, what's crazy? Meanwhile, the kids, right? The kids are carrying themselves better than these adults. All right, teenagers out here minding their business, doing their hair, going back to school, trying to figure out life. And the adults are online arguing about who said what in a live stream from 3, 5, 8 months ago, maybe 3 years ago. Lord knows, probably 20. I don't know. Man, if you got kids, man, you should feel embarrassed. But Like, imagine, your child walking past your room hearing you yell into a microphone about somebody's baby daddy's cousin's sister. Hmm. Yo, I packed my own bags and put myself in timeout if I was a child. Like, how you expect the youth to act right when the adults are acting like unsupervised toddlers? Man, and listen, this is just a little off, how can I say off my chest and into the mic? All right. I'm just speaking in general. I'm not just speaking about one person. There's so much shit going on. All right. And I'm just giving my opinion. All right. And then, this is the kicker, right? These same adults got the nerve, the audacity, right? How can I say the gall to ask, why are children doing what they do? Baby. Baby. Like, you are the blueprint. You are the syllabus. You are the example they're studying. Kids don't magically wake up chaotic, all right? They learn it from somewhere. And half these adults online are given, how can I say, master classes in dysfunction for free. Like, why do people pretend these kids are the problem when the adults are the ones setting the tone? Like, the truth is, right? The truth is, the apple don't fall far from the tree. It really doesn't. And some of y'all trees, have been rotten since dial-up. Like, oh my gosh, dial-up. Since the dial-up internet. Listen, kids are sponges, all right? They soak up everything. They watch how we talk, how we argue, how we, handle conflict, how we treat each other. And they go out, into this big ass world, right? And they perfect it. They remix it. They upgrade it. All right. They turn your little, how can I say, petty behavior into full blown production. And then the adults want to cry victim like they didn't plant the seed. Like, come on, man. We got a troll. I don't know if that's a troll, but I think we have a troll in the building. Blessings to only 8219. Shout out. I'm doing good. I don't know what question you want me to answer, but I'm just on this John talking. All right, like if I don't answer people's questions, which I don't see a question up in this John, it's because I'm trying to get everything I gotta get out, out my chest for real. Because I'm just giving an opinion. All right, I'm not getting myself inserted in no one's messes. You see where I'm coming from? I'm just speaking on the things that I see, the things that I perceive. All right, and once again, like I said, I want people to understand that kids turn your little petty behaviors into full blown productions, right? And it's crazy that the crazy part about it is how how adults want to cry victim like they didn't plant the seed. Listen, if kids mirror what they see, what exactly are we showing? I mean, I don't know if people ask themselves these questions, right? But what kills me is how some adults swear they're grown just because they pay how can I say a phone bill. Paying a phone bill don't make you grown. It don't make you mature. All right. Listen. All I can say is maturity is not automatic. All right. You don't turn 30 suddenly because suddenly and become wise. Some folks hit 50 and still act like they need how can I say a hall pass. And how can I say the internet just exposes it. It puts a spotlight on every insecurity, every unhealed wound, every childish impulse. And instead of healing, they log on and perform. You see where I'm coming from? Like, it is a lot of that happening around here. Like, why are people doing it? Hey, look, listen, man, it just so happens that a lot of people, don't mature in all the areas they should be maturing. No, there's no female. I'm not a female gamer. No gamers over here. But listen, back on topic, back on what I was saying, all right? What kills me is, how some adults swear they're grown just because, they pay a phone bill. Maturity is not automatic, right? You don't turn 30 and suddenly become wise. Hell, shit. Folks hit 50 and still act like they need a hall pass. All right? All this internet is doing is exposing a lot of the shit that people are doing. And I'm not even going to say the internet, the social media platforms. All right? Like, and it puts a spotlight on every insecurity, every unhealed wound, every childish impulse. All right? And instead of healing, they log on and perform. Like, why do some adults, all right, fear growth more than they fear, embarrassment? Love, loyalty, royalty says maturity comes from experience, and that's some real shit. 100%, 100% agree with you. That's some facts right there. But see, a lot of people don't understand that. At the end of the day, right, we gotta do better, right? Not for the algorithm, not for the views, not for the clapbacks, but for the kids that are watching us, like, how can I say, we're their daily soap opera. They deserve better examples. Even though kids shouldn't be on, these platforms for some reason, a lot of kids come across these platforms because, I guess it's another thing people don't seem to understand. A lot of these kids are unsupervised, right? And it's crazy, right? But for the kids watching us, like we're, their daily soap opera, like they deserve better examples. They deserve adults who act like adults, right? They deserve a generation that breaks cycles instead of live streaming them. And if nobody else wants to say it, I will. Shit, some of y'all need to log off, drink some water, touch, how can I say, some grass, and remember you're raising the future, not entertaining strangers. Like, what legacy are we leaving behind if chaos is the only thing we're consistent with? And I like having these panels, right? I like coming on these drones and speaking and giving my opinion, right? Because whether people like it or not, I've had a lot of the youth come across my panel, and that's what made me, even stop at. Like, I used to cuss a lot. All right, I have a potty mouth on me. All right, sometimes it comes out, especially when I'm very passionate, and this is why I suggest a lot of parents, right? Like, listen, man, you need to be watching what your kids are doing. A lot of the folks on these apps don't care. All right, a lot of these folks on these apps are parents behaving the way they're behaving. You see where I'm coming from? Like, it's crazy. That's a fact, and that's the issue that we're having. See, that issue right there with the kids being online, I don't think it's a government issue. I feel as though it's a parental issue. Parents need to put more focus on their kids, and I'm not gonna say more focus, more. How can I say time? Yeah, and focus. Yeah, time and focus. And that's not to everybody, all right? Listen, I'm just speaking in general, all right? Like, we're not here to bash or bring anybody down. Like, this channel is mostly for us to, sit down, have conversations, try to bring solutions to the table. We can bring solutions, all right? But we have conversations that build nations. Right, we're not here to, how can I say, certain things can't be how can I say, debated. For example, if I'm talking about, a predator, child abuse, and stuff like that, man, I'm not debating that with nobody. All right, it is what it is when it comes to that. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know how I feel. I have to watch what I say when it comes to YouTube because they censor the crap out of me. All right. But when it comes to predators and all that shit, man, y'all know how I feel. We build caskets up in this joint. All right. We building caskets up in this joint for real. Real shit. Like, yo, y'all know how I feel when it comes to predators. I'm dead. Don't curse. You will get a spanking. I'm dead. I can't. I like, yo, listen. I like when people can make me laugh. I'm dead. I'm serious. I like when people can make me laugh. That's some real shit right there. I can't. But yeah, it's a lot. All right. And let me take a moment. Let me take a moment. All right. Let me give a shout out to Empress Lonnie One Love. Let me give a shout out to, Beautiful One, because Lord, oh Lord, please, Lord, free the big sis. All right. Free both these big sis I got on these apps. All right. Some people on this app are so out, how can I say, so out of pocket, they don't even realize, they left the whole outfit at home. All right. But I gotta give her flowers, all right, for being strong. All right. I gotta give it to Empress. I gotta give it to Beautiful One Love. All right. Like I gotta give it to them for being strong. Because this app will make you feel like walking away, deleting everything and pretending you never had Wi-Fi. And that's me being nice, all right. But the way, the way she fights back, woo! Shout out to Beautiful One. All right, and Empress Lady One Love, welcome out everybody. All right, listen. If you fuck with Empress, you better be ready. All right. Because one thing I gotta give Empress, all right, she's been her since the beginning, since I met Empress, all right. And if you know me, you've been watching me for a while, you know what I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. Those that are new, all right, y'all will get to know. I don't really talk about, stuff that goes on these platforms. And I'm not, but I gotta give these two people, all right, these women a big shout out. All right. And like I said, some people on this app are so out of pocket they don't even realize. All right, they left the whole Gucci outfit at home. All right, but I gotta give these women their flowers for being strong. All right, whew, but Beautiful One, yo, the way you was fighting back, woo, it got some folks mad. And when people get mad, at your strength, it exposes, who the real ones are and who the ones that are, how can I say it? And who the ones that'll sell themselves for, how can I say it, click in the crunch. You see where I'm coming from? Like, why does someone else's strength threaten people who never built any of their own? That's something I don't understand. You should never let a website on a device get you out of character. We gotta deal with reality. That's some real shit. That's some real shit. And that's why I'm giving, these two beautiful ladies their, how can I say, their props, their flowers. You see where I'm coming from? All right, because boy, I'm telling you, social media is the devil's playground. But what's crazy is, right? This wasn't. Right. Hold on one second, guys. Right. Hold on one second, big guys. Give me 1 second. Let me put on. Let me put something on real quick while I do something. All right. Give me 1 second. Come on. My bad. My bad. I had to deal with something real quick. All right, my bad, my bad. I had to deal with something real quick. All right, but like I was saying, right, like it's so much going on these apps. I mean, on these social media apps, right? And a lot of people on these apps, like a lot of them are on here, for clicks and views. Some people are on here for fun. Some people are on here for learning. You see where I'm coming from? Like, ooh, what's crazy is some people come on here for support, right? And it's crazy how some people, how can I say, push away their blessings. You see where I'm coming from? Some people are too busy judging because what they want to do is just fill up their pockets, right? What's crazy is, right, the person I'm giving a shout out, to, all she was doing was, supporting, right? It wasn't even her intention. Like, she wasn't even trying to divide nobody, wasn't trying to, draw lines in the sand. But people drew them anyway because truth, makes cowards uncomfortable. Right. And, the wild part, a lot of us can see exactly what's happening. But when we don't always see until we're ready, is that social media is the devil's playground. And some folks out here, swinging on, how can I say, the monkey bars, like they ain't got no home training. Like, why do people blame the drama when it's really their own, how can I say, demons doing the typing? All right, give me 1 second. 1 second. All right, I gotta talk to my baby pops real quick, and I'll get right back with y'all. My phone. My whole computer froze. Why did I open up this Dell Optimizer? This is about to get on my nerves. Wait a minute. I hope all this is about to get discombobulated. Snap. I was just trying to open my camera. What the heck? This is, this is why, normally I come live when I got everything situated. I should have just waited a little longer today. Wait a minute. Hold on. Not your fault, babe. This is my dumb ass fault. What is you doing? All right, here we go. All these tabs started opening up. I don't know what the heck I just did. All I wanted to do was just turn on my camera real quick. Like, whoo, man. But like I was saying, man, like I can't understand why, some people blame drama when it's really, their own demons typing behind the keyboard. You see where I'm coming from? The stuff that comes out your mouth, you say it. All right. Like, unless, you're a mental patient, like, it's hard to take back certain things that people say online. You see where I'm coming from? But, I got to give it to, shout out to Empress Lana, One Love. And shout out to you, all right? Beautiful One Love. All right, like, listen, beautiful One Love. Shout out to you, beautiful one, all right? Like, for holding on, because, this test that you're going through, you're going to pass it, all right? Like, a lot of us got to go through a lot of tests in life, for real. Like, you're not failing nothing. Like, you're exposing everything, all right? They don't hear your heart because, how can I say it? They're too busy protecting their pride. Misunderstandings turn into, how can I say, avoidings, and avoidings turn into silence, and silence turn into guilt. All right, guilt that they don't want to face, but you keep showing up. All right, you keep speaking, you keep shining. Like, what I'm trying to figure out is why do people fear, a woman who speaks from her heart more than a liar who speaks from their ego? You see where I'm coming from? And that happens a lot on these social media streets. Thank you for, the compliment, but it don't matter if I have 1, 2, or 3, people watching. I actually got 2 live streams. I'm not even sure how many are watching on each one, but it don't even matter who's watching, all right? And at the end of the day, this message is going to get to who it has to get to. It's going to reach who it's got to reach to. I'm on multiple streams, but it's fine. All right. Like I tell everybody, I don't care how many people are watching. All right. Because what I'm saying is going to reach who it has to reach. All right. So at the end of the day, this is, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to whoever's coming through. I'm just going to say what I got to say. All right. Unless it's someone that, is going to, how can I say, keep it on topic, or how can I say, have a decent conversation. I'm just going to focus on what I got to say. You see where I'm coming from? Because a lot of people come on these drones just to troll. All right. Like, they're not really here to listen. They're not listening to receive. A lot of people come to listen because they just want to respond to something. All right. But back on topic, to the message that I'm giving to beautiful one. I'm not sure if she's watching or if she's going to watch the replay. All right. So when you do watch the replay, beautiful one, listen, truth tellers are always a problem to the people who fear the light. All right. Always. Like, you could whisper the truth and they still act like, you threw a brick at their spirit. Their egos are fragile, easily bruised by honesty, easily cracked by accountability. They turn away from truth because vanity blinds them. All right. They rather protect an image than protect their integrity. All right. Like, I don't know why some folks, treat the truth like it's an attack instead of a mirror. But unfortunately, that's something that happens, something that we, that, a lot of people got to go through. But both uses, right? Empress Lani, One Love, beautiful one. Listen, y'all speak with courage, right? Like, y'all reveal, what's real, even when, people resist. And, the thing about truth is it don't need permission to be true. Your voice, still appeals because it comes from a place of authenticity, not performance. And that's why, a lot of people can't stand it, because y'all not playing the game that they're addicted to. All right. Y'all not bending or breaking or begging. Y'all standing tall. Like, why does intensity scare people who only, how can I say, know how to perform? That's the crazy part, right? Like, I feel as though, like, some people, listen, I'm gonna put it like this. Don't let their silence drown out your voice, all right? In a world full of noise, be the one with, poise. The truth may shake them to their core, but that's not, how can I say, your burden to carry? That's their awakening. You stand tall because you know what you're fighting for. You're not fighting for clout, not fighting for attention. You're fighting, for your name, for your peace, for your truth. And that's a battle, you built for. You're built for. Like, I don't understand why people, how can I say, run from the truth when it's the only thing that can, how can I say, freedom. So to beautiful one, how can I say, to Empress Money one, keep speaking, keep pushing, keep, how can I say, shining despite the pushback, despite the lies, despite the, the projections. Like, your words hold power. They can twist. How can I say, they can't twist. They can't mute it. They can't deceive. People who fear the truth will always try to deflect. But in your strength lies their, biggest regret. Because in the end of the day, the truth don't need a crowd. It just needs courage. And you got that, how can I say, abundance. What does it say about a person, when your strength exposes their weakness without, how can I say, you even trying? You see where I'm coming from? And that's what happens a lot here on these social media platforms, all right? A lot of people get offended when, they're, how can I say, they're exposed, right? And the person exposing them isn't even trying to expose them. But that happens. I wonder who Only is. Now that I'm looking back into the comments, they know how to pick Only writers. I don't know if it's because of the thingy on my screen. But shout out to them, alright? One second. All right, back on topic. Bye. See, listen. What some people need to realize is this. Some of us stand tall because we had, how can I say, no other choice. We didn't get handed support, applause, or validation. We built ourselves, from the inside out. We belong because, we earned our place, not because somebody opened the door for us. Rock bottom wasn't a punishment for us, right? It was our starting ground, our training camp, or how can I say, initiation into, how can I say, into strength. And when, how can I say, a lot of us learned how to rise from it. And when we rose from it quietly, without begging for attention, without announcing every step, we learned how to move in silence because silence was the only thing that ever, how can I say, listened to us. One thing I can't understand is why do people fear those who built themselves without, how can I say, needing an audience? And a lot of people, on social media, I feel as though they have this need, this urge of attention. So they'll do anything and everything to keep an audience. And what's crazy is, listen, opinions, baby, opinions fade. They fade like shadows in the night. All right, they come and go depending on who's watching, who's jealous, who's insecure, who's projecting. But when it comes to us with strength within us, all right, our inner fire, that thing burns bright regardless who claps, who, or who doubts. No one's words can dim our light because we've already survived the darkest room. We've already fought battles nobody knew about. All right. We've already conquered storms that would have, how can I say, folded the same people trying to judge us. Why do people think their opinion matters to some? How can I say, why do people think, their opinion matters to someone who survived without them? See, and that's the issue that a lot of people that log on to social media, all right, that's the issue that they have. They come on this drum with this mentality like somebody owes them something. See, a lot of us, we built from the mud. Literally, no hands to hold, no shoulders to lean on, no safety net to fall into. Just grit, pain, and stubborn refusal to, stay down. Our story of resilience, wasn't written in comfort. It was carved out of struggle. And that's why, it hits different. That's why, it intimidates people. Because when you rise without help, you become living proof that excuses are optional. Why does your survival story make some people uncomfortable instead of inspired? And that happens with a lot of people. It does. See, a lot of people can't handle the fact that some of us, right? Some of us learn to trust ourselves because nobody else showed up constantly enough to, how can I say, earn that role. We didn't need a praise. Praise didn't raise us. Praise didn't feed us. Praise didn't heal us. Our journey was shaped by lonely days, silent nights, and moments where, how can I say, quitting felt easier than breathing. But we didn't quit. We kept going. And that's why, we walk with a different kind of confidence. The kind that, can't be faked. And when you got that type of confidence, all right, it's not hard to spot someone else that has it. Give me 1 second, guys.
In this world of blame and shame, we point fingers, we play the game. But as our children cry in fear, we turn the blind eye, we shed no tears. Believe our women, they say, while our kids are led astray. Lost in darkness, lost in pain, yet their cries fall silent like the rain. It's a shame how far we've come, blaming all the men playing dumb. But our children need us near to wipe their tears and calm their fears. In this land of the free, water's a commodity for you and me. Can't you see? It's not fair, it's plain to see. People struggling to pay for something they need every day. In America where we say we're free, but water shouldn't come at a fee. A shorty just speaking in general about the things that seem so just small. This ain't meant towards everyone, just a cry in the dark. In America where water is marked. Brothers and sisters, hear my plea. This is not about you or me. Our kids are the future, they hold the key. Wake up before we're met with defeat. In this world of chaos and strife, we must guide them to a better life. Teach them love, compassion, and light, so they can lead us out of this endless night. Let's unite as one strong force. For our children, let's stay on course. Together we can make a change and secure a better future in exchange. Y'all should have listened the first time they let the cat out the hat. Now it's a crime. Many are falling into a trap, thinking it's a game, but they full of cap. Some are ready and fully strapped, while others keep falling into the gap. The warning signs were clear as day, but some chose not to heed what they say. Now the consequences come to light. Those who ignored are in for a fight. Listen close and learn from this mishap. Don't be caught unaware. Don't fall into the trap. From the wisdom of my elders, I learned women are strong, independent, and firm. But sometimes we need a helping hand to conquer challenges and make a stand. Independence is crucial, that's true. Yet together with a man we can pursue. Respect yourself first and foremost, so others will treat you like the most. Ladies, growing up, remember this advice. You're capable of anything you devise. But partnership and respect go hand in hand. Embrace your strength and make a stand. Memories of the past I couldn't see, now I understand. The wisdom they gave me, respect yourself first, that's the key. To earn respect from others is how it should be. A man's worth measured by how he treats his queen. Love and romance in the air, a beautiful scene. A woman's power to uplift or demean. In her hands lies a man's dream. Lessons learned from an OG so true. In matters of the heart, they know what to do. Love and respect intertwined like glue in a world where old-fashioned values still ring through. Peter Pan, Peter Pan, Peter Pan was a fairy tale. Now males want to be females without fail. Women want to be a man, it's a twisted tale. Flipping scripts and roles, they set sail. Fighting for roles, turning to moles, making hits with their agenda goals. Targeting our kids, it takes a toll. To them it's a bliss, to us it's a black hole. They ain't trying to miss, their agenda is the ultimate twist. Infiltrating young minds with their list, but we won't let them persist. I'm with women's rights, but what about men's too? Equality for all, it's long overdue. We want progress, we need to see both sides. Blame and shame won't help us unite. Don't label him a deadbeat without looking in the mirror. Sometimes it takes two to create rupture. Let's have conversations that include everyone. Empathy and understanding, the battles can be won. Men face struggles too, let's not forget.
Their mental health matters, let's not neglect. It's time to break down walls and build bridges instead. Together we can strive for equality ahead. You scream for the police every time he come around. They scream child support abuse, playing victim in this town. Enjoy that check, boo, but remember what goes up must come down. The only time he's worthy is when he bails you out the mess you found. You play the game, manipulating hearts without a doubt, but karma's knocking at your door, there's no way out. You point fingers and shift the blame around, but in the end, it's your own chaos that you found. You dance with danger, living on the edge of lies, but the truth will catch up to you, no more disguise. The man you rely on to clean up your mess is so profound, will soon see through your facade and leave you astounded. Using a child as a weapon, it's a shame. A woman who lacks self-respect, I can't acclaim. Real men fighting for what they believe in, never in vain. Standing 10 toes down, bringing awareness to the pain. Respect is earned by how you carry yourself, not by tearing others down for personal wealth. Real men don't back down, they fight with honor and stealth against injustice and falsehoods that threaten our health. Let's uplift each other instead of tearing apart. Supporting one another from the start. Real men stand tall with courage in their heart, fighting for justice and truth, playing their part. Here's for the men who share their truth, never afraid to stand tall in their boots, respecting our women, fighting for what's right, supporting our kids day and night. All right, I'm back. Back on topic. My bad, I had to do something real quick. But listen, man. All right. What's crazy is something that I noticed, right? Like when it comes to a lot of us that like to bring awareness or like to support certain people that don't pick sides and stuff like that, right? Some people call us dangerous, right? A force to be reckoned with, right? And honestly, I'm starting to think they're right. But see, not for the reason that they think, not for the reasons that they think, right? We're not dangerous because we're loud or reckless. We're dangerous because we're grounded, because we know who we are, because we don't fold under pressure, because we don't need a crowd to validate our worth. That kind of independence, it scares people who rely on others to feel whole. Hmm. Like, why does independence look like, how can I say, it looks like a threat to people who depend on, how can I say, it looks like a threat to people who depend on chaos. You see, like, I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. Like, people love to create, myths about us, right? Oh, he or she, right? They think they better than us. Oh, they think that, they too strong. Oh, they too confident. Nah, baby, nah. We're not broken in the places that they expected us to be. That's the issue. We're not fragile in the ways they hoped. We're not silent in, how can I say, the moments they want us to, how can I say, they wanted us to be quiet. They wanted us to, how can I say, be. All right. We wear independence like a crown because we earned it. We saw rock bottom, all right, shook his hand and climbed out anyway. Like, why do people rewrite your story when the truth makes them, how can I say, look small? But maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping on the things that I'm saying, right? And that's why, how can I say, a lot of us choose to, how can I say, walk the way that we walk. Not arrogant, but aware. Not perfect, right? But powerful. Not loud, but how can I say, undeniable. All right. We emerged from places that were, how can I say, meant to bury us. And now we stand as proof that resilience is real, strength is real, and how can I say, self-made is a whole different breed. We don't need permission to shine. We don't need approval to exist. We are the storm and the calm after it. Right? Like, what scares people more? Your strength or the fact that you built it alone? Huh. And I guess that's something that a lot of us are going to keep, trying to figure out, right? Like, unlike many, some of us, had to learn how to define our worth the hard way. All right. Not through compliments, not through validation, not through people cheering us on, hey, but through silence. All right. Abandonment and the kind of loneliness that forces you to meet yourself. All right. We had to learn what our value meant without anyone spelling it out for us. Some people don't understand that some of us had to embrace solitude like it was, our only friend, because at that point, It was. And in that solitude, we found the version of ourselves, all right, we were always meant to become. Why do people assume worth comes from others, all right, when the real work happens, when you're alone. You never really, you never even really know who or who's there really for you, right? Until you really hit rock bottom. For real, for real. A friend ain't nothing but a dollar in your pocket. Once that dollar gone, so are they. And that's why I constantly say that the word friend is overrated. Like, a lot of us learn how to find strength within. Not because, it was cute, not because it was trendy, not because life didn't give us another option. Past wounds became our teachers. Pain became our compass. In healing became how can I say, the doorway to self-love. We stopped seeking approval because approval never, it never saved us. Approval never how can I say, held us at our lowest. Approval never rebuilt us. Our worth became something defined in our own eyes, not borrowed from someone else's vision. Like, I don't understand, why do people chase approval from others when their own reflection is the only one that matters? Your opinion is the one that matters. You should not be in competition with others. All right. People should be in competition with themselves. All right. Because I'm not in competition with nobody. I'm in competition with myself. I'm trying to become a better version of what I was yesterday. But a lot of people is not going to understand that because they haven't matured in the ways that I have. All right. Like, a lot of us, I'm gonna put it like this, a lot of us became unafraid of being alone. That's the part that scares people. We stand tall because we know true connections don't fall apart. All right, when life gets loud. We let go of those who didn't belong, not out of anger, but out of clarity. Our inner peace, all right, became too valuable to gamble with. Right. And once you taste that real peace, all right, you stop entertaining anything that threatens you. Like, I can't understand, why do people cling to the wrong ones instead of, how can I say, protecting their peace? But maybe I could be tripping. You see where I'm coming from? Maybe I'm tripping. Once again, these are just, how can I say it? These are just, how can I say it, thoughts, all right? Straight from my mind, off my chest, and into the mic. Like, a lot of us have, we weather storms of abandonment and pain. Storms that, would have broken people who pretend to be strong online. But from, those ashes, resilience is what we gain. Right? We didn't just survive. We transformed. We didn't just heal. We evolved, and evolution. Right? That evolution made us untouchable in ways people can't understand unless they've walked through, fire too. Like, I don't understand, why does resilience intimidate, right? Why does resilience intimidate people who never learned how to rebuild themselves? Like, people need to understand that to some of us, independence became our shield. Not because, and I'm not talking the type of independence that a lot of people, are talking about out here. Oh, I'm independent. I don't need you. Nah, 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 nah. I'm talking about the type of independence, right? That taught me how to stand tall alone, not needing somebody to hold my hand when things go wrong. All right. Independence becomes our shield, not because, we don't want love, but because we learn to trust, face time. The ones meant to stay will stay. The ones meant to leave will leave. And we no longer chase what's, how can I say, not aligned. We trust the flow, all right, the shift, the divine redirection. We trust, that what's meant for us won't require us to shrink, all right, beg or break. Like, I don't understand, why do people fear letting go when holding on? All right. Holding on is what's hurting them the most. Sometimes you gotta learn how to let go in order to move on. And some people don't understand that. Like, shout out to the ones that are, self-assured, right? Unshaken, right? And some of us are self-assured, unshaken by fleeting tides, unbothered by temporary people. Our authenticity is never compromised because we've already lived through the consequences of losing ourselves for others, and we refuse to do it again. Right? In a world full of masks, illusions, and people switching up, all right? In a world full of masks and illusions and people switching up like seasons, we remain rooted, grounded in who we are, not who people want us to be. Like, I don't know, why does authenticity feel, threatening to people who only know how to pretend? Huh. Maybe I'm tripping. And you know what's crazy? That through the pain, all the change, all the decay, around us, a lot of us remain anchored in our own way. We don't crumble. We don't crumble when the world shifts. We adjust. We don't break when people leave. We release. We don't dim our lights to make others comfortable. We shine harder because we finally understand that our worth was never, up for debate. It was always ours to define, ours to protect, and ours to honor. But some people can't see that, right? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm about to say real quick. Be right back. Do I have that drawn here? I gotta read out something. Let's see. Here we go.
Religiously, understand the 7 principles of hell. You understand the 7 demons within you. You understand that whole concept. It's a whole metaphysical concept. We didn't go over that, but anyway, so those 5 senses, so you can get a feeling of what the things are. So now you have a clearer picture of what the things are. So now people will try to manifest and look for the object they manifesting, but they not matching the frequency of it. So what happens is the universe gives you things to build you up to matching that frequency, to your own personal belief that you even deserve what you asking for.
Yo, you spitting some gems right there, coach. But for those of y'all in the background, man, check this out, yo. They say karma's bad, but is it true? Depending on your actions, that's how she'll come for you. She's a friend to me, but an enemy in your head. Karma brings me peace, while in your mind she spreads dread. We blame God for the problems around us, turning a deaf ear to our own mistakes. We blame the devil for our misguided actions, lost in the shadows of regret and mistakes. Elders criticize, we rebel in return, cutting off potential, lessons unlearned. Butterflies trapped in cocoons, dreams adjourned. A cycle of disrespect, the flames still burn. Parents strive growth, children push away. Generations clash, never finding a way. In heaven in progress, the price we pay. Butterflies grounded, never to sway. The cycle repeats, a never-ending chain. Misunderstandings persist, causing pain. Lost potential lingers like a stain. Generations at odds, searching in vain. We're stuck in a cycle of pain and sorrow, hoping for a better tomorrow. Black lives matter, white lives matter too. It's time to unite and break through. I'm just saying, it's 2025, but it feels like it's 1942. Black lives matter, white lives matter. That's the plea. Blaming the white man for all the hate that we see. Yet we're still killing our own kin. Can't break free. Struggling to find peace in this chaotic scene. Racism and violence tearing at the seams. Pointing fingers while we continue to demean. Looking ahead with hope in our hearts. Learning from our past mistakes, making new starts. Together we stand against all that tears us apart. Black or white, it's time for a fresh start. We're quick to point fingers at others, but in reality, it's ourselves that we need. The power to change lies within us. Why blame others when we can be our own lead? Just a little food for thought.
But they done tricked you. They done told you there's something outside you coming into you. That's how they get you to accept God is outside you. That's that old concept. God knows it's in you. That's why when you have a deep desire, things come true. When you get that feeling of God in your way. Because that's true. But it's not outside of you, it's inside. They don't want you to know it's inside. Because there's a group of people, it's not inside of you. They have to get you to participate and give that energy away so they can have those experiences. And that's what most people do. By worshiping something outside themselves. You're giving that energy away. Especially because this is verbal.
In the balance of right and wrong, karma scales tip where they belong. She rewards my deeds with serenity, but in your thoughts, she breathes enmity. What you sow, you shall reap. Karma's justice runs deep. I find solace in her embrace, while she hunts you with no grace. In the wrong generation, lost in time's illusion. God's mixed up in my mother's womb, a cosmic confusion. Feeling out of place like a puzzle piece misplaced. Searching for my purpose in this unfamiliar space. Born into a world that doesn't quite fit. A old soul trapped in a modern day script. Yearning for simplicity, longing for connection. In a fast-paced world of constant rejection, I navigate this life with an ancient soul's gaze. Struggling to find my path in these chaotic days. Perhaps God had a plan beyond what I can see to challenge me to grow and set my spirit free.
But they done tricked you. They done told you it's something outside you coming into you. That's how they get you to accept God is outside you. That's that old concept. God knows it's in you. That's why when you have a deep desire, things come true. When you get that feeling of God made away. Because that's true. But it's not outside of you, it's inside. They don't want you to know it's inside. Because there's a group of people, it's not inside of them. They have to get you to participate and give that energy away so they can have those experiences. And that's what most people do. By worshiping something outside themselves. You're giving that energy away.
Get you a word.
I should have did this on the word.
Prayers out for our real men doing what they gotta do. My bad. I'm back. Listen. Back on topic, right? I want to remind a lot of people, right? Whether we're, listen, I'm gonna put it like this, right? A lot of us get torn, right? We get broken into pieces, right? But we pick ourselves up. We rebuilt ourselves, right? We stand tall, unbreakable, unmovable, unshaken, right? We face it all. We faced it all. Betrayal, abandonment, heartbreak, disappointment, and, the kind of pain that, could have turned us cold. But instead of folding, we forged ourselves into something stronger. Our strength lies in the scars we bear, all right? The ones we hide. And how can I say no manipulation, no guilt trip, no emotional game can lead us into despair again? Like, why do people try to manipulate those who already survived the worst? All right? People don't understand. All right? Look, listen. People think that they can come on these apps, right? And do and say whatever they want, and there's no consequences behind any of their actions. They think they could just come here, say anything, right? And people are supposed to stay quiet. The crazy part about it is when, these same people that think they could do that, right, don't know how to handle when someone just sits here and claps back like, listen, I've had enough of you, putting this person down, dragging this person, adding me into this, or, mentioning me or saying this, or listen, people get tired. It's like when the cup gets overfilled, what do you think happens? It spills over, right? So that's what happens with people in real life, all right? People get fed up with the bullshit. Like, what people don't need to understand that a lot of us, right, that a lot of people that, that have been broken and have had to, rebuild ourselves. A lot of us, we've had to go, through the darkness. And in that darkness, we found our light, right? Not the fake kind of, not the fake kind that people post online. Not this positive bullshit like, relationships are supposed to be like Kevin and Drika. They're supposed to be like Blueface and Krishan. They're supposed to be, like all these celebrities that they admire so much. You see where I'm coming from? Like, nah. I'm talking about the real kind. The kind that comes, from surviving nights that felt endless. All right? And in those nights, a lot of us became warriors, ready for any fight. And not because we love conflict, but because we've already battled ourselves. You can't break what's already been shattered and rebuilt again. You can't intimidate someone who's already met their own shadow and lived to tell the story. Like, I don't understand why do people, underestimate, right? Those who have already fought their own demons. That just baffles me. Like, some people need to understand that a lot of us have a spirit, right? And our spirit, right, cannot be, battered. We have resilient souls that refuse to bend. All right. Even when life tries to fold us in half. All right. In our solitude, we found peace. In our loneliness, right? How can I say? Listen, in our solitude, we found peace, not loneliness, not emptiness, but peace. All right. The kind of peace that makes you walk different, talk different, choose different. Right. Like the kind of peace that makes chaos look so small. Why does inner peace threaten people who, thrive on chaos? Well, the answer's in our faces. Is right there. But I ain't going to hear nobody give me the answer. All right. Some of us are called dangerous, right? And you know what? They're not wrong. Some of us are dangerous in our own right, not because we're violent, not because we're reckless, but because we've conquered our darkest nights. We don't fear the unknown. We don't fear being alone. We don't fear starting over. We don't fear losing people who were never meant to stay. That kind of, fearness, it makes insecure people nervous. So why does fearness expose the insecurities of everyone around it? Huh. Shit. Man, if you know me, man, I be having random thoughts, all right? I just, listen, everything just comes out. I got to do some lives like this, man, because, we got to switch it up a little bit. So I just, let y'all, I just let some of y'all dive into my mind, how I think and how I perceive things. All right. Like, this is why I write a lot on some real shit. I just stay on the sidelines. So I'm like, oh, man, this person feels like this, man. Like, let's give this a positive, outlook into it. Because, if you believe it, you can conquer it. Like, listen, some people just don't understand why we are the way we are. All right. We are unyielding. All right. In the face of fear, our power shines crystal clear. We don't need to scream it, prove it, or perform it. It's in our presence, in our walk, all right, in the way we refuse to fold. We are the product of every storm we survived, every night we cried, every moment we thought we were, done, but kept going anyways. And that's why, we stand, all right? That's why we stand the way we do, rooted, grounded, and unapologetically whole. That's what scares people more, all right? Our strength, all right? Or is it the fact that, you know what it is? It's not just our strength. It's the fact that we've earned it alone. So once again, let me give a shout out, all right? Empress Lonnie One Love, all right? Let me, give a shout out to Beautiful One Love, even though Beautiful One Love, I keep saying it. Let me give a shout out to these content creators, all right? And one big supporter that's around here, all right? Like, listen, shout out to Empress Lonnie One Love. Shout out to Beautiful One. Shout out to SBK. Shout out to The Word. Shout out to Mouthpiece, all right? Shout out to, there's so many people out here, man, right now. Man, listen. Oh, and another person, man, I gotta give a shout out to Candyman, baby. Gotta give a big shout out to him. Oh, let's not forget Yaya, man. Listen, man, make sure y'all go check out Yaya. All right, one of my favorite content creators up on this app. Listen, you gotta love Yaya. You gotta go watch Yaya. All right, you cannot miss out on watching Yaya. Make sure y'all go check out Yaya. But man, there's so much going on, man. And all I can say is this, right? I see what's happening, all right? And, listen, I'm going to say it like this, all right? Listen, talk is cheap. And some of y'all out here spending it like, it's the only currency you got. And this is for the haters, all right? Everybody got haters somewhere. But shit, man, the haters make you shine, don't they? Shout out to Yaya, all right? And just for the haters, like, I know your elders taught you better, all right? Y'all grown, and, that's what makes it wow. All right. The elder said it nice, but I'm going to say, I'm going to say it my way. All right. And still be nice. A lot of you, how can I say, a lot of you envy-driven, loudmouth, misery-loving folks need to learn how to shut the hell up. And, I'm speaking in general. All right. But if you feel hit, that's between you and, how can I say, your conscience. Real shit. Like, why do the loudest people always have the least to show for it? But maybe I'm tripping, right? But I'm going to say this, right? If you ain't making moves, why are you judging people, who are? Hating on somebody else's grind won't fill your bank account. It won't fix your life. It won't heal your insecurities. All right? A lot of us are about the hustle, real hustle. Not, the pretend kind people post online, for likes. We don't have time for the hate because hate don't pay the bills. Hate don't build empires. Hate don't create legacies. So why do people waste energy hating when they could use that same energy to level up? I don't know if I'm tripping, all right? But right now, like I said, I'm just talking, all right? And whoever this gets to, it gets to. right? They're like that. Listen, a lot of people out here talking shit, but a lot of you ain't walking the walk. And that's the problem. A lot of us are focused on success, tunnel vision, locked in, all right, building something real while others are focused on gossip, drama, and who said what. If you're not adding value, then stay out the way. Some of us are too busy winning, to hear what you gotta say. We don't argue with people who don't even, how can I say, who aren't even in the race. You see where I'm coming from? Like, a lot of us know how to stay in our lane. For real, for real. You see where I'm coming from? Say what we gotta say and keep it pushing forward. But I can't understand why others can't do it. But you know what, Ray? Yes, you do. Some people have not matured. Some people have not matured. You know what the problem is, Ray? Get it together. Listen, why do people watching from the sidelines think they can critique the players on the field? Like, I swear to God that people really think that a lot of our lives are, a part, how can I say, of the Super Bowl. They turn our people's lives into, how can I say, housewives of Atlanta, right? With Weefy, right? How can I say, NFL's type style. But maybe I'm tripping. Huh. Some real shit. It's like people want to become dictators in people's lives. Like, listen, actions speak louder than words. And some of y'all are out here whispering with your, actions, but screaming with your mouths. If you're not doing nothing, watch what you say. Because the people you're talking about, they're out here chasing dreams, all right, hitting goals and accomplishing things. All right, they never thought they could. Meanwhile, the haters are stuck in, the same spot, recycling the same negativity like it's, how can I say, a personality trait. Why do people who aren't progressing always, how can I say, always have the most opinions, always have the most to say? It's like, Jesus Christ. Like, I feel as though some people need to keep their negativity. Because a lot of us can figure it out without your negativity. Like, money talks, but how can I say, hating won't pay the bills? We'd rather stack cash, right, than engage in cheap thrills. And that's the issue with a lot of people. They want to engage in cheap thrills. Like, a lot of us rather build something real than waste time arguing with people who don't even believe in themselves. Right? That's the difference. That's the separation. That's where the line is really drawn, but a lot of us don't talk about it. All right? That's the line in the sand. Like, why do people think that tearing others down will lift them up when it's, I'm going to help you fall faster? Oh, but maybe I'm tripping. I feel as though some people need to learn, to keep quiet if it's not positive or true. But since, a lot of y'all can't, a lot of people, a lot of us that can stand our grounds, right? And it's going to get the people who can't stand their ground mad as shit. But a lot of us know how to, keep focus on our success. Like, we're going to keep grinding, keep elevating, keep proving that, consistency beats commentary every single time. A lot of us don't need to clap back. Our results do it for us. Actions speak louder than words. We don't need to argue. Our growth speaks louder. You see, that's why, I got to say, listen, man, I respect and I love these content creators. Shout out to Ms. Yo Thoughts. Shout out to Ms. Yo Kimi. Shout out to Ms. April Showers. All right. Shout out to Blended Healing Blessings. All right. Shout out to Goddess. Oh my God, I forgot her name. Goddess. She be on Blended Healing Realms panel. She be on Mouthpiece panel too. And I think she be on SBK, man. Shout out to all these women content creators that are strong. All right. They say we don't have women content creators, but we really do. It's just that these women content creators are focused on the things that other people are not focused on. They're focused on succeeding, moving ahead, but a future. But other people, boy, I'm telling you, like, once again, our growth speaks louder. And I don't understand why do people underestimate the power of minding their own business. But hey, unfortunately, a lot of us got to go through it on social media. All right. And listen, at the end of the day, we're all moving in our own ways. Some of us are building. Some of us, are healing. Some of us are rising. And some people are just, watching, wishing, and whining. But that's not our problem. We're too focused on becoming who we're meant to be. Too worried, about, how can I say it? We're too focused on becoming on who we're meant to be. To worry about who's talking about who. Shit, I be telling people, let them talk, man. Let them hate. Let them project, man. And a lot of us is going to keep winning. You know why? Because we're not letting the war hold us. Some of us is not going to put ourselves in the middle of the war that someone else started. There's too many people on this, John. Oh, you got to pick a side. This person talked about my mama. This person talked about my child. Oh, did you do it too? Because if you engaged in the, shenanigans and in the bullshit, then I'm staying in the sidelines and watching you keep acting in the circus. Because you can't sit here and say, hey, pick my side. This motherfucker's bullying me, but you was bullying first. Man, that's why I said what I said in the beginning of this live, yo. Man, and another thing, man, people on this journey to stop, right? Stop how can I say? Stop doing, how can I say? Stop throwing around threats like, it's cute. A lot of folks forget, that real life exists outside these screens. Just because someone's narrative doesn't match yours doesn't mean you gotta, how can I say, take it left. It's wild how fast grown adults lose their common sense the moment they log in. All right. The elders used to say it nice, but I'm going to say it my way. Some of y'all need to sit down, breathe, and remember that every action has consequences, even online. Watch what the fuck you say on this job, because you can be found in so many ways. You see where I'm coming from? And this is not a threat from me, all right? I'm just talking. I'm just giving, my opinion based on the things that I see. Like, I don't know why people act, together on the internet, right? Then why do people act together on the internet than they ever would in real life? That pretend shit, man, I don't like that shit. I'm good with that. That's why I stay in my lane. Once again, like, some folks on this John swear they're detectives, right? Investigating people's personal lives. Like, they're getting paid for it. Talking about, I'm bringing awareness. Nah, baby. Nah, baby. You bring in obsession, all right? You bring in projection. You bring in that little green-eyed monster that took over your spirit and made you forget who you are. You're not exposing truth. You're exposing your insecurity onto others. Like, why do people confuse curiosity with entitlement? All right? With entitlement to someone else's life. See, man, people be tripping up on this, John, man. And the sad part, some people really think that if they, they make others feel small, they'll somehow feel big. They think tearing someone down will magically put them at the top. But the way to the top is not through bashing people or threatening people or trying to intimidate strangers online. That's not strength. That's desperation. That's ego. That's ego. That's, fear wearing a mask. Like, why do people think stepping on others will help them rise? I swear to God, people still got childish minds up on this app. Like, people forget that, how can I say that reckless talks has consequences, right? People forget about, how can I say, tails in their coffins. Man, not dramatic consequences, real life ones, right? Not novella ones like here on these apps. Like, words can escalate situations, damage reputations, right? Ruin opportunities and create problems nobody asked for. And yet some folks still risk everything, knowing they could lose everything. Like, their peace, their relationship, their stability, just to look, tough for an audience that doesn't even care. You see where I'm coming from? Like, why risk everything for attention from people who wouldn't show up? All right, for people who would show up online. All right, and I'm not just saying this, because I'm angry. I'm just saying this because, I'm just seeing a lot of stuff. And I wanted to get this all out my chest, right? Before, how can I say it? I started, these three, I reviewed and reacted to these three little videos that I got here. Because I'm seeing a lot of shit online. And I'm glad, a lot of people can stand their ground. We have a lot of strong content creators on these apps, man. And it's unfortunate that we got a lot of people that so-called themselves, so-called themselves trolls. And I've seen lately how money can make a monkey, dance for real, for real. Like, and it's crazy. I've seen a lot of people tear at people, right? That I don't know how to put it. Some people give in, right, instead of just letting it go. And a lot of these misunderstandings happen because of subscribers or because of content creators that are hard-headed. You see where I'm coming from? Bringing drama here, taking drama there, twisting this up, adding this, taking away from it. So many misunderstandings happen on these apps, and people take it to the chest. You see where I'm coming from? Like, once again, why risk everything for attention from people who wouldn't show up, for you offline? Some people really believe hiding behind a keyboard protects them. Like, they think nobody can find out who they are, what they're doing, or how they're moving. But the truth is, the internet is not the shield they think it is. People get, held accountable every day for the things they do, right, and say online. And yet, knowing that, they still gamble their own future like they got nothing to lose, right? Like, why do people act invisible online when accountability is real? We've seen it time after time, but yet people don't learn. What makes it even crazier is that a lot of these same people say, how can I say, have so much to lose: families, jobs, reputations, opportunities, but they act like they don't. They act like consequences don't apply to them. They act like the internet, is a playground instead of a public space. And that's the part that blows my mind, because people who have the most to lose are often the ones talking the most reckless. Why do people risk their real life to protect, an online persona? Yo no sé. And guess what? I ain't diving down that rabbit hole to figure it out. No sé por qué lo hacen, ni quiero saber tampoco, ni me interesa. I don't know why they do it, and I don't want to know, and I'm not interested in finding out. They want to play the role of a clown, well, then let them play in their own circus. At the end of the day, we're not here to babysit grown adults who refuse to act like grown adults, right? We're here to speak truth, protect our peace, and move with purpose. If people want to waste their time threatening, hating, and investigating strangers, that's on them. But the rest of us, we're focused on growth, right? How can I elevation and staying out of a mess, because real power isn't intimidation, right? Isn't in intimidation. It's in discipline. It's in self-control. It's in knowing who you are without needing to prove it. Oh shit, we got the Undertaker up in this job, man. Detroit in the building, baby. Shout out to the word.
Dolly. I don't know where my son put this damn extension cord at.
Wait, what happened? Somebody took an extension. We got Mr. Oates up in this job. Mr. Oates!
No, I'm about to cut my hair.
Yeah,
And I was like, I ain't popped up here in a minute. I was like, I ain't talked to sister in a minute. Let me get over here and holler at her. And I was listening to what you was talking about. And then you had people in the chat, but I'm looking like ain't nobody paying attention now. But no, you that's why I don't even be on here like that. That's why you see I don't really fuck with too many people on here. Because you don't know what you go get out of people. You know what I'm saying? Like so I don't even try to get that cool with people.
me too.
On there. 'Cause there's a bunch of weird people on here, man. They're fucking
It's
weird.
yeah, it's a
Like
lot.
I don't even like you cool with people who I done fell out with. I ain't never brought nothing to you like oh you over there supporting them or you I ain't never did no weird shit like that because what me and them got going on ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? If you cool with them, long as I don't feel you picking a side or doing nothing. So no.
Yeah. I mean, but I think people are insecure up in this job, or but we
Oh
can't
definitely.
even blame the pandemic. Because sometimes I feel like going to the pandemic and blaming it, but it's like, nah, people was wild before this shit.
Yeah, this people been like this. That's how people always been, man. It's just you get like in real life you won't encounter a lot of these people, but on here it's like these people thrive on here. They literally thrive. People like that thrive on like drama based. There's a lot of people out here dealing with pain, and they don't know how to um, work through their pain, so they project it onto other people. So you get a lot of that on here.
A lot of it lately has been about money. I've been looking at this shit like, why can't y'all just take y'all blessings? Like, this ain't gonna last you forever. Like, y'all beefing on this job to the point where y'all threatening
Oh,
and over support. Over support. I'm like, is you serious?
but it'd be
I'm like, this
funny.
can't be real.
You know what make it funny? Because I be thinking like all like anybody on here beefing is beefing over some words, right? Somebody says something. Somebody, you ain't. I mean, people. You get to the it escalates to the point where people doing something, but it all starts off words, and sometimes it be misunderstandings or
Hmm.
misinterpretations because we come from different backgrounds, we were raised different, so we interpret things different. So it'd be something so small and people blow up. Like it don't even be that serious. Like I just stopped fucking talking to you before I get any drama with you. And I done been in shootouts and shit like that, bro. I ain't trying to beef with nobody. Like I've
Facts.
been through that shit in real life, bro. That shit ain't, when you can't sleep at night, you sleeping with that thing under your pillow because somebody might come knocking on your door, some shit like that. People ain't, man.
People focused on the wrong shit because it's like this, right? It's like my grandpa used to always yell at us, right? When he used to try to teach us about, money, how to earn it, how to, do all this stuff. Me and my brother used to always fight. But he used to always get mad and throw us a little lecture, right? And then get us mad out of nowhere, like fast as shit. But I don't know, maybe it was us thinking that he was mad the way he gave the lecture. But he makes sense. In the middle of war, you can't make no money. Where's the money
Yeah.
going? Neither one of us is making it because we too busy trying to kill each other.
hmm
Real
And
shit. Like,
but see, then people know that too. Like drama sells on here, bro. Drama
but
sells.
as fast as it sells, it goes too. Look at how many times people have had to rebuild their channels and start over. No, that's
Yeah,
not no fun. It's like telling
that's
these hustlers out here, like, what's the point of selling nicks? You're
uh,
not making it. You're smoking your own shit.
is a temporary fix. That's like think about this. How many people who hustle really made it big or really did something with it versus, you know, all the people who tried. That's how this beef shit is.
That's a fact.
Like
But
some
it's
people
just that
go
I
flourish
don't.
off of it and get paid, make a couple, you know what I'm
But
saying? But
word,
everybody ain't
word.
gonna do that. Yeah.
A lot of us have gotten blessed on these apps. A lot of us have gotten blessed. You see where I'm coming? And you don't see us. Oh no, you can't go support that person. You got to keep supporting me, or trying to bash somebody else to get the support of somebody because they finally seen a little more than just $50. All right, I'm gonna put it like that. And it's crazy. Like
Yeah.
I want to say
Yeah.
a little more, but I'm not going to say a little more because it's like no matter what you say or what you put out there, you see where I'm coming from, it's not going to make a difference. But it's
And yeah.
unfortunate that we see little kids make, what people make behind the scenes, right? And I don't see these little kids out here screaming and shouting when they get little funds or they get, their little dreams accomplished. Like, oh shit, I started my little business. I started a little career. Like, it's
Yeah.
wild. I haven't seen you act like, oh my God, somebody just, gave me this much behind the scenes and started crashing out on everybody.
Yeah, man. I mean I didn't get blessed on here a couple times. Like, I tell people thank you, but it ain't for everybody to know, man.
Exactly. If it's behind the scenes, it's behind the scenes. There's a reason you got these little, what you call them? People call them bubbles. I just call them super chats.
I mean, I got
But
a couple, shit. I remember when I first got my $100 super chat. I'm like, oh shit, somebody sent me 100. Like, god damn. like, thank you, appreciate that.
I
God,
said the same thing. Like when I got it, I was like, thank you. But it's like I already know YouTube gonna take some of it, and then, the other part is gonna come in that thing. If you manage to make the threshold, there you go. Let me slow down because like you're not getting paid from YouTube
I
until you
figured out
manage to
how to
meet that
pimp that,
threshold.
man. I can teach you how to pimp that. That
I ain't even
threshold,
worried
man.
about that. You wanna know
I
why I
mean,
tell people? Because it's like
it's
I'm
not
not.
because you if you can see how much you get paid off your views, like, because I get like I get a nice little penny off my views. So as long as I get 1,000 views a month, I get a check. As long as I
But
hit a
remember,
thousand
I
views a month, I get a check. Not
I
on one
fuck
video, on multiple videos.
I fucked my channel up when I started, when I tried to do that co-hosting thing. Everything went sideways, and I'm just gaining subscribers back, as you can see.
Yeah, I mean, it's a grind, man. It's hard. That's why, I mean, even me taking this time off, oh, man, I go live, I barely get 100 views. So it's going to take
Hmm.
me a while just to get back up to the 100 views. But
That's why I said, go ahead, my bad. Let me stop him from.
oh, you good. I mean, it's a grind, but to me, it's more about the content. I feel like if I make good content, eventually the right people will come, and that's
There
why
you
I like
go.
what you do. That's why I watch your channel, man. I don't really fuck with everybody's channel like that. I need to get something out of it. That's why I watch your channel, like, because you be hip on a lot of the new stuff. So your content is good. It's just, and I don't know what else you can do, but there's always more you can do. You know, that's what I learned in life. I might be doing everything I know I'm supposed to do, but there's always more you can do. So once you find it, you go because I like how you review things. I like the conversations you have. You talk about shit that matter. You know, even when you talk about the celebrity, you still talking about the situation versus the person. So that is valuable. That you can learn, you can grow from that. So your content is valuable. You know what I'm saying? So like me, I'm learning more. Like I'm not a talker. Like if I got something to say, I'm concise as hell. So I mean, if I do a live and I'm talking about something, 10, 15 minutes, I'm done. If y'all ain't talking to me, I'll be ready to sign off. Like I'm good. I say what I need to say. So I'm not like Gary's a talker. Gary can go hit live and talk for 2 hours. I can't do that. You know, so I need people like that. That's why I like having Gary on the panel with me because he can talk. I can't. But yeah, you make good content, so I got a feeling you go pop. You go pop rather than receiving blessings. A lot of people on here too on the block, bro. Yeah, man. And like Mr. Oates, like this, and I ain't talking about nobody. I just see a lot of issues that people have on here. Is issues I had when I was like in my early 20s and stuff. I ain't arguing with nobody. 'Cause, I mean, I was told a long time ago, you argue with a fool, it makes you a fool. So, I mean, I'm not sitting there arguing with nobody. If somebody feel like I disrespected them, only thing I can do is clarify because my intent is never to disrespect nobody. And if you don't accept that, then have a nice day. If you feel like you want to disrespect me, I'm gonna just stay the hell away from you. I ain't trying to make no stranger respect me. I don't give a fuck how people look at me, man. I really don't. I don't care about because the shit on here ain't real. I'm respected in real life. Like people don't say or do anything to me in real life just because of my stature. Let alone if they know me. If they know me, they know not to fuck with me, right? And they respect me. They ain't afraid of me, but they just know like this motherfucker crazy. Like he gonna do more than what we expect to be done. That's what he go do. He always take it to another level. People who know me know that shit. I'm willing to take it further than anybody else. They know that, but they know if they don't fuck with me, I ain't gonna do nothing. So I get along with a lot of people. So if somebody over here, oh you ain't this, you ain't heard, bro. Have a nice day, man.
That's a
If you was
fact.
standing in front of me, you wouldn't be saying that shit. So
Listen, that's a real fact, man. Like, listen, like I think it was only once that I've called somebody out their name. No, twice on this John, and that's because they deserve it. Like I tell people, man, look, listen, you'll get that side of me when you bring it out. But I've learned that on social media, I don't see the point of it because I can't
yeah,
I can't touch you on some real shit, and I don't know you enough to even hurt you. And then you're gonna try to use my past, and you can't break me with that. So it's kind of like, this is boring. I've been here, done this too many times. So it's like people don't understand that part. Some of us have matured to the point where this stuff don't face us. You see where I'm coming from?
hmm I mean it's like this too. I mean you're a brand on here, right? So you got to conduct yourself a little differently than the average person just coming on here. That's how I look at myself. Like I'm
That's,
branding myself. So that's why a lot of this stuff don't get to me because it's like, man,
that's why I
it's just
see.
like it's a business, Everybody ain't gonna be happy with you. So it is what it is.
That's a fact.
I just don't. I just literally don't take people serious. Like, I don't take too many people serious, especially when they ain't
That's,
acting serious. Like, I don't take this motherfucker serious.
see,
They
but
not really a threat.
when I see stuff like this is what makes me come on here. And I don't come to talk to, about people. I just come to kind of like give my opinion, give it a little poetic justice, because it's like people also forget. You see where I'm coming from? Like, kids are watching, whether y'all like it or not. They watching, so there's still somebody that got to come and bring the balance. Like, you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. I'm not talking about you. You see what I'm
Right.
my bad. I'm speaking in
No,
general.
no, you good. I don't take shit
I don't
personal,
have
man.
a problem. I don't have a problem coming on this John bringing awareness. Like, somebody was asking me, you want to do interviews? I'm like, I'm thinking not interviews, but I'm gonna start bringing people on this John. It'll be kind of like an interview, but it's not. I'm like, because I don't like getting into people's lives. Now, if the podcast turns into an interview, that's a different story. But I don't mind people, bringing people on this John, bringing awareness, speaking your story. That's how we was doing it before, and that's how I was coming up. But I had to stop, dropping the link because of the bullshit that was happening. But I can't blame nobody but myself for letting it happen.
I'll tell you this, man. This is my experience, right? I tried to interview a couple people on here, and I try not to create content where it can
Oh
be
no.
weaponized against people.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm not asking certain questions and I'm staying away from certain things. But those people brought the shit up, and I'm looking like, man, I'm trying, like you can't. I mean, I couldn't avoid it, so it's like it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But that was my intention. It was like I just wanted to. I only reason I did interviews like that so I can get people to see what I see in other people. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna bring
So
interviews. I'm gonna make them real life interviews. Like was telling you the last time, I want to sit down with people around the community and talk and
yeah,
stuff like that. Because
that'd
I
be
don't
cool.
want to interview people on social media. I don't see the point. It's like the same thing over and over and over. It's like sometimes you can't even tell the truth. Like, I've seen certain podcasters do certain interviews. People say this, and it turns out that what they were saying was nothing but a lie. So it's like I prefer to do the real life thing. You see where I'm coming from? Like, let it be real.
Honestly, on here usually people don't interview other people until some shit going on anyway.
Exactly. That's my whole
You know
point.
what I'm saying?
And it's
Until
like
some shit
it's
pops up.
like it makes it. I don't know how to explain it. It's
Controversial. That's what it is.
yeah.
Controversy sells, though. That's what sells. Bullshit.
But the funny part about it is the same shit going on out here. Like, and it's real
Mhm.
life. That's why I was like, I prefer to interview someone in real life to interview someone over here. And I've seen people be successful with that shit. 'Cause my whole
But
point
there's
is
some
we're not doing it. We're not doing it out of malicious intent. We're doing it to bring awareness to certain things that are actually happening within our community. How many people haven't turned their lives around? You see where I'm coming from?
mhm.
Like, I've seen people getting judged on this job because, oh, you've been in prison, or you've been here, or you've done this, but yeah, they've changed their life around.
Yeah. Now, half
So
the
it's
people
not like,
have been in jail or shit. And
yeah.
everybody done did some dumb shit, some shit they regret. That's how you learn, man. So
Look at
that's why I don't be throwing people past in their face. If they pass, if they pass, they learned, moved on. But if they present, I mean, they still doing it. So and
that's a fact.
one of the biggest things on here that I don't like what people do is advocate for bad behavior. I don't like that shit. If somebody did something fucked up, they did it. That's just what it is. They did it. They fucked up.
But you,
Don't try to excuse or make excuses for that shit. Like nah. So there's a lot of people that do that shit on here. They
uh,
advocate for bad behavior. There's two people do the same thing, but one person is bad, the other person is okay. Like nah, all that shit bad, bro.
that's what
And
I'm trying to, do
if
things
they
different over here.
excusing it, then they probably still doing the shit. So, but let me jump down. I gotta cut my hair before while these kids sleep. Man. I only get a breather. My daughter got that sleeper
Go ahead,
session,
go
so
ahead.
she wake up and. But if you still on, I'll pop back up.
All right, about that. Shout out to the
Appreciate
world,
you,
yo,
sir.
man.
Mhm.
Thanks. I appreciate you too, big bro. But see, man, he's speaking some he's speaking some facts right now, for real, and that's why I try to push as much poetry as I can. Hey, and for those of you watching, man, if you are subscribers or members or something, man, make sure you stay tuned because we're gonna be doing the giveaway. We're gonna be giving away poetry books and hoodies on April 25th. That's my way of showing appreciation to those that help get this channel monetized, those that help bring awareness to all the different topics that we're bringing about, those that are here supporting. All right, with these petitions, those that share it, those that like the videos, comment. I appreciate y'all, man. So on April 25th, that's gonna be my way of giving back to all the supporters. And it's a lot going on, man. Like I said, this is why I push out as much poetry as I can. I feel as though we need more poetry, but like the word was saying, man, it is a lot going on, and there's a lot of real shit going on within our communities. Like, I'm in Philadelphia, right? Welcome to Philly, baby. So a shorty is from Philly, and I want to show y'all something, right? I know a lot of y'all know that I'm trying to start, like a community center, right? I had my chance. I had this little building, right? But since I didn't do everything, on the timing that I was supposed to, I lost my, how can I say, my little slot to try to get that building, all right? So I know that this summer I'm gonna try to find a way to do the fundraiser by selling clothes. So I gotta upgrade my little vinyl machine, and I gotta get a direct on garment printer, all right? Because I'm also gonna get the young bulls, all right? I gotta get this this porch right here fixed up. I showed my subscribers, all right, the people that have been following me for a minute. I gotta get that joint fixed up, and I'm gonna put the machines in the porch. And we're gonna get the young bulls out here to start selling shirts, hoodies, and stuff like that. We're gonna bring back the empanadillas, aka patelillos, like they call them here in Philadelphia. All right, we're gonna start selling some food, doing fundraisers, trying to gain the money. All right. I had somebody that supported me, all right, not so long ago, and I want to give a big shout out to her. She knows who she is. All right. I put some of that into the beginning of that. So I really appreciate her for that. All right. So there's already, a start on, how can I say, the funds. All right. To start looking for a whole new building within this location, this area that we're in. All right. So hopefully, like I said, man, one of these days I'm going to get, somebody that sponsor Shorty, help her out with that. All right. Because it's going to be hard as hell to try to get, at least 50 stacks racked up, and then the money to fix the building up. All right. And then what's crazy is what people don't see, right, is that me doing this, right, isn't just gonna, how can I say, once I'm done that, once I get these workshops into place to support that, I need the funds from the government, right? I'm not just going to be receiving funds from the government, because by me putting these workshops in, trying to get these little jobs in so that these young bulls can start their little careers, right, by me working, you see where I'm coming from, myself within these community centers, all right, the money that comes in, the profit that comes in, is going to pay the bills. It's going to pay the stuff that needs to be paid off. You see where I'm coming from? It's going to do, listen, we're teaching these kids how to be entrepreneurs, leaders, leaders of their, not just, their community, but, of their own families, whichever way their life takes them. You see where I'm coming from? So we want to teach them now. All right. So we get in there little by little. It's just, even though it's taking a minute, all right, this accident, put a big hold on what I was trying to do. But little by little, I'm going to get these things accomplished, all right? I'm going to be able to take care of home, and I'm going to be able to, how can I say, all this community work that I've been putting in, all this footwork that I've been putting in, it's going to pay out, all right? Because we're going to be able to, get these kids, some of these kids, the ones that want the help, all right? We're not going to be able to get them all, but as many as, we can, all right? Me doing this thing every summer, trying to get them out there to, make their own logos, sell their own T-shirts, help me out with selling food and stuff like that, right? It motivates them a lot. And especially when, listen, I don't know why, but a lot of people have a hard time doing this, right? The thing that drew the young bulls' attention is, right, because one thing I can sit here and say is when they help other people around, people don't, how can I say, pay them enough, all right? So it draws the young bulls', attention when, okay, look, listen, I'm giving you the tools that you need. I want you to give me back my re-up. You see where I'm coming from? I want my money back. You see where I'm coming from the things that got put into this. And all the profit that you gained from here is yours. Each one, it was like that. You got your own profit. You got your own profit. But I gained from my sellings. boom, 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 we teaching them. So I want to start doing things like that, right? I got more ideas, biggers, right? But this is the best one, the biggest one that has drawn the attention of these kids. And that's why I'm working so hard, because it didn't just draw the attention of the kids, it drew the attention of my 16, right? And his friends, all right? So I know that it works. I just got to keep working on it, all right? And starting from zero is not easy. I wasn't expecting it, but hey, look, listen, we got to do what we got to do. We got to start where we got to start off at, man. All right. And one thing I can sit here and say is we don't want no handouts. We're going to do this, how can I say, the hard way? All right. We're going to work our way up, and we're going to accomplish, what we got to do. Because it's unfortunate, right? The police is supposed to protect and serve, they say, right? But here in Philadelphia, I don't know what's going on. We have 9 officers, right? 9 officers being charged. All right, 9 Philadelphia police officers charged in youth mentorship program theft scheme. All right. So we're gonna check this video out. We have another video, or these are videos that were sent to me on my Instagram. All right, I haven't been doing reviews and reactions for a minute. So shout out to those that are supporting, man. If you ain't sub up, if you're enjoying the content, man, smash that like button for a shorty, man. The dislike button is right there too if you ain't enjoying the stream. All right. And like I said, man, I appreciate those that share the video. So if you can, man, hit that share button for a shorty, all right, and share the video for me and help the shorty bring awareness. All right. These are the things that a lot of us are getting tired of. All right. I'm a leader of my community. Right here in Philadelphia, right? I don't just, leave my household. I come out here, right? I get together with different organizations, and we put in that footwork out here, and we try, to get, kids into different types of programs and much more. All right. Now I'm trying to start my own thing, teaming up with other people's in the hopes that, we can accomplish what we're trying to do. All right. So hopefully all this works out, man. I got my little fingers crossed.
Well, developing tonight, 9 current and former Philadelphia police officers are facing some criminal charges, accused of scheming.
And let me go back. And it's crazy, right? Because these programs are meant, right? They're put out there. Supposedly they're supposed to be helping the children. But hey, we got all these corrupt people around us, right? And the issue, why is that happening? Because guess what? People are the people a lot. So many people, right? And I'm speaking in general, but so many people are worried about federal, the president, this and that. Sometimes I even wonder if voting matters. Why do I say that? We're gonna get into that, in a minute. All right. The link is down below for anybody that wants to come and chop it up for a shorty. All right. But let's continue. Let's find out. Let's what's going on here in Philadelphia, because I feel as though this is fucked up. My bad. This is messed up. All right. If the programs are for the kids, why are y'all messing with it? All right. Like, I know that, how can I say, Philadelphia is barely getting funds because of it, what's going on with the Trump situation and all that. But like I was just saying, if I got ideas on how we can make these programs work, then why isn't other, how can I say, organizations doing the same thing? Especially, a program from the government that is supposed to be receiving thousands and thousands of dollars in funds, to do these programs, to deal with these programs, to deal with the kids.
9 current and former Philadelphia police officers are facing some criminal charges, accused of scheming both an anti-violence grant program and the police department. I exclusively spoke with the organization involved, who says they're shocked about the officers' alleged wrongdoing. But let's get right over to Action News reporter Leland Pinder, who's been digging through these charges. He is live at police headquarters. Leland, what is the latest?
Well, Christy, these are veteran police officers we're talking about, on the force anywhere from 10 to 29 years. 9 in total are now facing charges. 5 were active duty, while 4 left the department or retired before these charges were filed. The Guns Down, Gloves Up Youth Boxing Initiative was a program created coming out of the pandemic designed to be a positive and safe outlet for kids. But these officers are now accused of receiving payments from the grant-funded program while also collecting city paychecks, sometimes during scheduled shifts. Commissioner Bethel has suspended those 5 active duty officers for 30 days with the intent to dismiss after the filing of these criminal charges. The police department says photos are not yet available, but the active duty officers facing dismissal are listed on your screen right now. Each faces conspiracy, theft, and receiving stolen property charges. The 4 former officers listed here also face similar offenses. Action News spoke exclusively with the founder of the organization, who says he's shocked by the allegations.
Today was a good and a bad. The good was we put a stop to the crookedness with the cops stealing people like my brands and then misusing it and damaging it. You know, and the bad thing is, you know, a lot of people can't tell when you say guns down, gloves up. It's different platforms.
Commissioner Bethel called the situation deeply troubling, saying in part, all Philadelphia police officers are expected to maintain the highest level of professional and ethical standards. However, I am particularly dissenting officer. And police say this was an extensive investigation beginning back in 2023. At that time, those active duty officers were placed on administrative duty while all of this played out. The DA's office now in charge and handling the criminal proceedings involved. Live from outside police headquarters, Leland Pinder, Channel 6, Action News. Christy.
Yeah, black eye for the department for sure. All right, Leland.
And this is why, you know, I see a lot of organizations that are stepping up, all right, trying to speak up for the youth, trying to help the youth, trying to bring up, you know, different programs out here. All right, one of them is, like I was saying the other day, I think, I know that we got a guy named Jose, right? I got his name somewhere around here. I can't get to the cars. It's 2 different organizations, one from Huntington Park, right? And there's this lady called Elizabeth. She's from she's a coordinator, right? I gotta get the info right. I've mentioned it a few times here on this live, right? But I don't got her card here with me to say exactly what she does. But I know Jose does for, you know, works for Huntington Park, Philadelphia. I think making Huntington Park, Philadelphia better or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. All right, I got the info right here. My daughter's in his program. All right, and they do a lot of things here in Philadelphia. There's a lot of, you know, like I said, organizations trying to step up because of these type of situations that are happening. All right, I feel as though that a lot of these programs, all right, can pick themselves up along with whatever funds that the government does decide to give them. I feel as though every type of program should have some type, you know, this is my opinion, all right, some type like of workshop that brings income, right? And this is something that, you know, how can I say, the CEO or the founder or whoever's in charge, right, deals with that. Make sure that they have somebody that works at the workshop, right, that pays off the bills and stuff like that. But that person also has to have, you know, an income. They have to have, you know, they have to be a part of the payroll, right? I got different ideas, but, you know, it's like, I don't know what's going on. I know Philadelphia is a blue state, right? And I don't know if that's the issue or what, but red or blue, you know, listen, man, y'all know how I feel. Red or blue, a lot of us are fighting for crimes, right? I listen, I don't have a president until we have a president that, you know, how can I say, is for us. And until then, to me, man, a lot of shit is iffy. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. Answer is live. I don't know the answer is live. If he's live when I'm done this live, then I'm gonna go check him out. But if you're in Philadelphia, right, Mayor Parker, right, she proposes, you know, how can I say, a ride share and delivery taxes and $7 billion budget plan. If I'm not mistaken, does this have to do with the robots? Let's check this out real quick.
Get a free phone from AirTalk.
And Uber Eats, man, pretty soon, you are about to be replaced with these robots, yo. And I'm not sure if that's what this budget is for. I hope not. $7 billion. But no, it says proposes ride share and delivery. Yeah, see? So they're putting $7 billion into a ride share and delivery? Hold up. Am I tripping? I don't know. Maybe I'm too high.
Philadelphia Mayor Racheal Parker giving her latest budget address with a long list of things included funds and resources for recovery and addiction, homelessness, SEPTA, and more.
The hope is that you will feel our city of Philadelphia is moving forward. We are making real and measurable progress.
Ah, come on, man. We're about to debate this out, Parker. Come on, man. Philly got to get it together. The streets are still trashy. These construction workers are taking years to finish the roads. All right. Plumbing is exploding everywhere. Right, you got officers being charged of scheming, all right, and scamming. Like, let's get it together, yo. We getting better?
So here's what we know. In addition to those things, Parker's still pushing for a $2 billion investment in building, restoring, and repairing 30,000 units of housing through the Home Initiative, adding $10 million to the budget to support workforce development training, a nearly $900,000 investment in a student loan help center, along with new taxes.
And Jennifer, her proposed budget is a bit more than the last one.
Yes, so everyone I talked to, they love the idea of additional funding for schools as well as Philadelphia roads, but they weren't necessarily sold on the new tax proposals.
Mayor Sherelle L. Parker.
Mayor Sherelle Parker unveiled her $7 billion budget proposal for fiscal year 2027. She's proposing new taxes on ride shares and retail delivery orders.
I think it's kind of crazy we're already taxed enough, I feel like.
Called the Transportation Network Company Tax. It's proposing a 20 cents tax per ride on apps like Uber and Lyft for rides that start in Philadelphia.
It's already expensive. They've already increased the prices, so I think
that's why they bringing them robots out. Don't be surprised.
That'd be a challenge for sure. Well, now it's like, dang, I might as well walk, you know.
The mayor says the rideshare tax is expected to generate over $9.5 million a year and financially benefit the school district of Philadelphia. Cache Harville says it'd be great for Uber and Lyft drivers like herself, but not for customers.
Great for the school district, but I do worry about the actual, the actual residents who can't afford that increase. You know what I mean? I wonder how that's going to affect them.
Yeah, I think that's too much. I think the money should come from somewhere else.
The Parker administration also proposing a retail delivery tax charging 25 cents an order for certain goods delivered in Philadelphia, excluding a set.
Come on, man. That's going to affect me. That means I got to charge my customers for delivery now. Is you tripping? I definitely got to charge customers for delivery now, because it's going to cost me an arm and a leg to deliver their merchandise. Y'all tripping. Y'all screwing us small businesses over.
Such as food, baby products, and medication.
The tax will be charged to retailers. So we're not taxing individuals. We're talking about the retailers. Businesses that rely on our streets for deliveries, very simple. They'll have to help us maintain them.
The mayor anticipates this tax will generate $15 million in revenue to improve road conditions across the city.
I'm not sure this is going to be the case, because if I've been living here for a while, I don't see too many chains. So hopefully, hopefully it's worth it.
Taxing, retail shopping where there's a dip in that market. It's only going to create more issues, I think, for a lot of retailers. But I'm also for fixing potholes, so I don't know.
If these proposed taxes on ride shares and retail delivery orders are approved, they would go into effect next year, July 1st, 2027.
Of course you want to say yes for schools, and yes to fill the potholes. Those are issues, but why we're getting penalized for it?
That's wild.
Mayor Parker's budget proposal must be approved by City Council by the end of June, and the council will start holding budget hearings over the course of the next couple months. That's starting on March 24th.
We'll be heading into another damn strike, man. Philly out of pocket. I don't know if this is happening in other cities, man, but this is what's happening here in Philadelphia. All right, it's a lot of crazy stuff going on. All right, it's to the point where they got patrols. All right, they got patrol riding SEPTA. All right, we was talking about it a few months ago, but I didn't really think they was going to do it. So now we got police officers. All right, riding SEPTA, whether it's the train or how can I say the SEPTA buses.
Gardner.
I mean, it was going to be expected. They got this big, huge fund. That's why the sanitation workers got a little envious a couple months ago. All right, that's why that strike broke down. because the police department, they get them SEPTA. Because listen, we got the, how can I say, the how can I say, the foot patrols out here now. It's summertime. And they don't mind. They're going to get a good little paycheck. I mean, some of them deserve it, but others, listen, let me shut up. Sometimes I feel like Ice Cube.
More police on board SEPTA, and it's all part of, well, you'll soon see more police on board SEPTA, and it's all part of a new initiative. And as our Greg Payne reports, with everything happening in Philadelphia this year, it is needed now more than ever.
I ain't going to lie, that's true. But it has its pros and cons.
On the move, and so are the transit police, who have been focusing on stopping serious crime on the trains, which over the last 2 years, it has gone down 40%.
We have a huge system within SEPTA, and we only have so many police officers out there to police it. So we have to kind of prioritize what we're gonna go after. So we think we're in a good position where we're dropping crime, and we want to start focusing on some of the quality ride issues, some of the smaller crimes that are occurring. That make our customers feel uncomfortable when they're on the trains.
That focus begins with now shifting some of their transit police to work full-time on board the trains.
Go to each train, check every train, make sure everybody, the vulnerable population, make sure they're all right. Buddy, you good?
A busy job for officers Martinez and Miller.
A lot of these crackheads and heroin addicts gonna be mad as shit. They can't be hitting their glass dicks in the damn train, real shit. A lot of these potheads is gonna be mad as shit too. They can't smoke their joints in that joint. Some of them, listen, they be in the back of that train. But it don't be as much as, the weed heads, right? I'm a weed head myself. It be more the wet heads, all right? And those that be smoking them weird ass things, all right? What is it called? Listen, they got, what is it? I be fucking up the name, so don't judge the show. Damn, I'm cussing again. I be messing up the name, all right? K2, K12, something like that. I don't know what it is, all right? Then they got that fentanyl, man. Like, all of it stinks. Like, listen, a lot of these people gonna be mad.
Monitor.
Hopefully they fuck with the right ones. I mean, yeah, the right ones, not the wrong ones. Because a lot of police officers like fucking with oh my God, here we go. That's because I'm talking about these officers, man. A lot of these officers like messing with the wrong people. Like, they're not doing nothing. Leave them alone. Like, I get it. Y'all got to meet your quota. But that don't mean just mess with anybody knowing they're going to react back. That's some messed up shit.
For those sleeping, causing disturbances, smoking, doing drugs, and openly drinking on the train.
This could be a code violation notice for open container of alcohol.
The goal?
Oh, yeah, the alcoholics. Whoa.
So a person who's a rider, going back and forth to work, going home from school, whatever, they see a police officer and feel safe there's a police officer there. For somebody who wishes to commit a crime, they see our police officer and say, I'm not going to commit a crime because there's police officers here.
And even when officers may not be visible,
I gotta pause this. Why he lying? All right, why he lying? Because you know how many times you listen, bullshit. All right, a person is not gonna commit a crime. It's not gonna stop committing a crime because they see a police officer there. Bullshit. We in Philly, all right. They didn't just change the name of the city from, how can I say, the city of brotherly love to welcome to Philadelphia. All right, that's what they changed it to, Philadelphia. All right, because these mofos don't care if the cops are around. They don't. Listen, you know what messes me up in the head, right? And this is how I know. Listen, man, look, listen, I gotta watch what I say. Listen, it messes me up when I'm driving somewhere. When I'm driving with my babe pops in the car somewhere, and I gotta turn around and ask him, like, yo, hold up, wait a minute. You're telling me they slinging shit over there, and this officer right there? But when you come over here, they want to fuck with people that ain't doing shit. Why you got officers over here watching them over here? Like they gonna catch somebody from the motherfucking mafia in that bitch. Man, you know what? Listen. I just didn't like that straight up lie he said.
For somebody who wishes to commit a crime, they see our police officer and say, I'm not going to commit a crime because
bullshit.
Police officers here.
And even when officers may not be visible, Big Brother is always watching.
This here is 15th Street westbound platform. We have a group of vulnerables that are loitering right here.
With the new virtual patrol.
Now I want y'all to peep that, right? Let me come on camera real quick. Y'all saw that, right? I I'm supposed to come camera. All right, listen. Y'all see how they surveillance that, right? You see how on SEPTA they got these cameras everywhere on the bus, outside the bus, and they're supposed to, there's somebody right there that's supposed to be watching, right? Now, y'all see that, right? Now, I'm gonna get off topic real quick, and it's because listen, I need to, touch this. I need to touch on this real quick, all right? I have to touch on this real quick because y'all seen how they do that, right? Now, a lot of parents, right, manage to get cameras into these school buses. And it's been like that for the past couple of years. I mean, by the videos that, show up, I would think a lot of people know that there's cameras already in school buses, right? Now, I've talked about this time after time, and there's a point that I've tried to prove, but I can't because they never show, the people behind those cameras that deal with the cameras that are on the school buses and stuff like that, right? Now, my point with this is, right, you see how they got somebody behind them, right, watching the surveillance, doing all this stuff, right? They see what happens when it happens exactly at the time that it's happening. Now, that's how it's supposed to be for the cameras in these school buses, right? Now, for the incidents that we've had in these school buses where, children have gotten, how can I say, raped, right, molested and stuff like that, whether it's an adult doing it or a child doing it or another child, kids have lost their lives because of fights and stuff that happen in these school buses, right? But yet you don't hear never in any of these reports, right, that the person is behind these behind these cameras right here in front of these screens, right, surveilling what's going on in these cameras, pick up a phone at the time that something's happening and call and say, this is happening, boom, boom, boom. We need y'all to contact the parents, boom, 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 boom. That right there has to get fixed. We've managed to get cameras into these school buses, right? But the people, in front of these screens watching what's going on, something's wrong. Because it can't be possible. This right here shows you, right? On SEPTA alone, right here, right? It shows you what these, what the people do, the ones that are supposed to be watching the surveillance, right? So in my opinion, right, and this is just a quick little point that I wanted to, put out there, right? Like, I just wanted to prove a point. The people that are watching and not calling the parents when incidents like this happen in the moment that it happened, I mean, well, they can't call the parents, call somebody that can actually do something at the moment that it's being done instead of, waiting for a child to be unalived in a bus or a child to take their life, in their, parents' home because of something that they went through in school or in the bus. They should be charged too, along with the bus driver that commits a crime in that bus or the student that commits a crime in that bus. But yet they never ever, say anything about the person behind the surveillance team. Real shit. So the same way that us parents got together, right, to get these cameras on these school buses, I feel as though we need to get together to figure out how to deal with the people behind, these surveillances that are supposed to, keep the, how can I say, the proper authorities up to date with what's going on in these school buses. But back on topic, let's continue with the video.
Division, monitoring over 30,000 cameras and provide real-time information to the officers.
I want y'all to peep how he said real-time information to the officers. The school buses are supposed to be doing the same thing. But they don't.
Crime, they see our police officer and say, I'm not going to commit a crime because there's police officers here.
And even when officers may not be visible, Big Brother is always watching.
This here is 15th Street westbound platform. We have a group of vulnerables that are loitering right here.
With the new virtual patrol division, monitoring over 30,000 cameras and provide real-time information to the officers.
Can you send some officers there to clear that area, please?
Staff 24 hours a day, and what the officers do on an everyday basis is just review cameras. Live, we're looking through, trying to identify anything that may be going on.
The deputy chief says a lot of these changes have to do with the big events coming to Philadelphia in the summer, with the America 250 celebrations and the FIFA World Cup.
Oh man, we're gonna have a hot summer.
And we're looking forward to how we're going to address those things. But 2026 or not, we have to address the issues on our trains.
Issues that officers say they plan to address for years to come.
For us, boots on the ground, we serve the public. We're going to do the same things. Make sure they're safe, and our Philadelphia residents, Delco, Montco, Bucks County are safe.
Now, SEPTA transit officials say a lot of these changes have to do with the 2026 events that are coming up very, very soon. But they did mention that they were always going to do this. It was just their main focus was to focus on the serious crimes first and address that before they went to the non-serious crimes. Reporting here in Center City, I'm Greg Payne, Fox 29 News.
Man. All right. Let me ask y'all a question. Is they doing this in y'all city? And if they doing this in y'all city, let me ask y'all, do y'all think that it's going to help or benefit anybody? Is it going to make a change? Is it going to improve, the crime that's happening within our, communities? If so, well, then they need to, how can I say, get it together, right, with the surveillance and the school buses and do the same thing. And let's improve what's going on within our school buses. This is wild. Okay, let me see. I wanted to show y'all the video. All right. Oh yeah, let's get into this one real quick before I show y'all the video of the little 12-year-old that passed away, man. It's unfortunate, man. Bullying is serious. This is why I say that I want to really, try to get as many kids as we can off these streets, all right, into programs that will benefit their lives. But right now, let's jump into this little video right here. I don't know, right? I don't know if this is happening. I know it was happening in New York, right? I know New York was the first ones to do it, but now it's here in Philadelphia, all right? Facts. I feel like Mr. Oates, yo. All right. So I know that New York, if I'm not mistaken, Washington, D.C., already had these little, these little mofos running around. All right. Now, I'm not sure if in the city that y'all watching from, if y'all watching, all right, this is happening, but this is going to take away a lot of jobs. Why? Because this is cheaper, more money in the government's pockets.
Uber Eats launched its new autonomous delivery service in Philadelphia today, which means a robot could soon be showing up at your doorstep with your food order.
Action News reporter Chad Pradelli got a demo of how it works in this week's Driving into the Future.
Uber Eats calls the robots the future of delivery. The contactless service is meant to streamline your order, getting it from the restaurant to your door in a matter of minutes. At Carter's Cheesesteaks in Chinatown, they're waiting for the first delivery of the day. Carter's is one of more than a dozen spots partnering with Uber Eats for autonomous delivery.
So we're starting initially with a smaller group of restaurants, and then we're going to continue to add to that.
Megan Jensen is with Uber. She says autonomous delivery just makes sense in urban environments like Philly.
Sometimes traffic and congestion can be a problem. Parking can be difficult. And so these sidewalk robots, provide nice relief for parking pressures, congestion, and things like that.
It does? So what happens when it's really, does it have an umbrella for when it's raining? Can it get wet? Does it survive the snow? So in these type, in those type of weathers, will y'all be able to use these little time? Because I can't picture this robot going over, a little mountain of snow. But I wonder if it stretches up, like, like in, is it Back to the Future? Is it, the car, the legs go, like, even in the spy movies, Inspector Gadget, James Bond. Like, does it do them type of tricks to avoid them type of weathers? Like, will it survive? Because, a human, they might have to, double park or try, listen, Uber Eats have bikes too, shit. So you could be driving in the sidewalk and just park in front of the, people have gotten their bikes stolen too. But if you have an electric bike, they can't really steal that shit. But they can pedal with that bitch. Damn.
The robots are run through the autonomous vehicle developer AV Ride. They operate by satellites connected to the Uber Eats platform. Think how a GPS operates in your car.
Grr.
Help navigate the busy sidewalks away from pedestrians and cars.
It has a LiDAR at the top that's almost like the robot's brain in a sense. It
Hey.
kind of works together with other sensors on the robot's radar and then also cameras that allow the robot to really sense and see the world around it.
The robots run on lithium batteries with roughly 12 hours of life per charge. Uber Eats says customers only need to opt into autonomous delivery. Robots do the rest.
So you're able to see it get to the restaurant, picking up your order, and then also watch it navigate to you as well.
You'll be notified when
The same thing you do with a regular driver.
Then scan your phone for the insulated compartment to unlock. It also comes with this perk.
You don't tip the robot, so any tip that is added won't be charged.
And right now, the robots only deliver in Center City and the area south of Race, north of Spruce, east of 18th, and west of South Front Streets between 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. But Uber Eats plans to expand to add more restaurants and robots soon.
They said, fuck North Philly. We ain't fucking with North Philly. We ain't messing with North Philly. Man, you ain't messing with us? Welcome to Philly, baby. HP in the house. Welcome to North Philly at that, baby. Damn. Ain't fucking with North Philly. That's some messed up shit. How they judging the hood over here like that, man? What we do to y'all? But damn, that's messed up, yo. A lot of people are gonna be without jobs, yo, on some real shit. All right, that really is messed up. Like, we know why they doing it, yo. For real, we know why they doing it. Hold on one second. I'm trying to get the next video. The government ain't shit. But y'all ain't hear me say that. The government ain't shit. That's some messed up shit. Hey, shout out to Yaya. Yo, her video just popped up. She said she was coming live tonight, but I'm not sure. Watch her pop up when I go to sleep. Real shit. That's not the video. Where's that damn video? I'm gonna have to search it. I had it set up. I don't know what the hell happened. No. I need to find the actual video.
Meanwhile, another tragic story, this one out of Doug.
Man, I gotta get my condolences out, man, because I gotta get to this 12-year-old girl's mom, her family. Because listen, we're about to find out what's going on. All right, I found the video. I had it set up. There we go. All right, somebody had DM'd me the video. I didn't feel like logging into my Instagram because if I open another tab up, it's going to slow down the computer. All right, but listen, these the updates. Is this the one from Philadelphia? All right, let's find it.
Answers after her 12-year-old daughter got into a fight at the bus stop and died. The mother says the bus driver should never have let the kids off that bus together. Channel 2's Tom Jones is live in Douglas County in Villa Rica. And Tom, as any parent can...
Now this one is not in Philadelphia. Hold on. 12-year-old dies in Philadelphia after bus fight. This is not the one. This one's about the girl in Georgia. Damn, how many kids? We're about to get it. Hold on. Let me put on about the one in Georgia. Hold on 1 second. Damn. All these 12-year-old girls passing away. Like, what's going on?
Mother wants answers after her 12-year-old daughter got into a fight at the bus stop and died. The mother says the bus driver should never have let the kids off that bus together. And Tom, as any parent can understand, that mother is heartbroken.
Yeah, Linda, heartbroken because her daughter was a quarter of a mile away from home when she got off the school bus here. But that's when Jada West got into a fight with another girl, and Jada never made it home and never made it to movie night with her mother.
She's like, Mama, can we do something?
Rashonda McClendon says she was looking forward to hanging out with her only child, 12-year-old Jada West.
We were supposed to go to the movies Friday.
But Jada never made it to the movies Friday. Actually, she never made it home that day. Cell phone video shows Jada beefing with a group of kids at the bus stop. Then she and a girl began fighting. Jada took a hard fall and began to lose consciousness. We are not showing the actual fight and fall. One of Jada's friends ran to tell her mom what happened.
Got in my car and I drove up there and she was on the ground.
Jada wasn't breathing. She was taken to the hospital.
That's wild.
Jada died the next day of cardiac heart failure. Her mother is in a lot of pain.
It gotta stop. It must stop. Violence has to stop.
McClendon wants to know why no one tried to stop the fight. On the video, you do hear a boy telling everyone to chill out.
Let's push the peace. Let's push the
McClendon says the conflict began on the bus and the driver should have been proactive.
The bus should have never let those kids off. Turn it around.
McClendon says her daughter was new to the school and had been bullied. She says we have to teach our kids violence isn't the answer.
Love. The Lord wants us to love one another.
But that starts at home. That starts with the parents. Like, this is why I said, man, we need to get these kids off these streets, man, off these phones, off this bullshit. Like, they say that we ain't never had peace. At one point, like, even my community had peace. Like I said, right? I don't get tired of saying that. I even made a poem out of it. All right, we had a community. We had a village until, you know, how can I say, there was a few times where, you know, someone's loved one got shot due to mistaken identity, right? The disappearance of Ariana de Jesus here within my community, all right? Which, you know, they just finally, 26 years later, found the person that, you know, how can I say, mutilated and unalived that 5-year-old girl and stuffed her in a wall, which now, you know, is a daycare named after her. And this was done by a whole person that, you know, was illegal. He wasn't even supposed to be here. All right. He had no papers. And that's why he got away for so long using different aliases. And as crazy as it sounds, right? Like, you see where I'm coming from? Like, you know, all this bullying, all this stuff, like, you know, parents have to start being more, how can I say, a part of their kids' lives. All right. Chastising them more. And disciplining them more. And I don't mean abuse. I don't mean, you know, when I say chastise, I don't mean beat your child to a pulp, throw them down the steps, you know, mistreat them and treat them like shit. Nah, some people misunderstand, you know, what chastising and disciplining is, and they confuse it with abusing and mistreating their kids, ignoring and neglecting their child. But let's continue. A lot of this shit comes from home. Something is happening to them kids and they're deflecting it on others.
Not tear one another down.
And Douglas County Schools plans to have grief counselors at Mason Creek Middle tomorrow when students return to school. Villa Rica Police told me they are investigating and will forward the results of their investigation to the DA's office for review. And police are using that video as part of their investigation. We're live in Douglas County in Villa Rica. I'm Tom Jones for Channel 2 Action News.
Tom,
Yeah, man, my condolences go out to that 12-year-old's mom, their family. Right? Listen, losing a child is the most painful thing that I've seen a lot of women and a lot of, men go through. A lot of fathers, a lot of mothers go through. But, man, it's getting late. I'm about to get, this last video up here. All right, let's check out Papa Duck real quick. I was supposed to get y'all this video, but I can't find it there. All right, I'm gonna pull it up on my next live though. We're gonna react to it. Man, Papa Duck's been out here. All right, and how can I say? He's been spitting some gems. All right. So let's check out the first video.
Yo, what's happening?
Man, y'all know we gotta do some Papa Duck reactions, man. We gotta check my boo out. All right, we gotta say he be spitting the gems and he be on point. All right. Now he's making a video. He made a video, right, of the schools, which is named the schools are making kids unemployable on purpose to make them second to AI. Now y'all seen a video earlier that I just showed you, right, a minute ago, of these little robots already. They was already in New York, all right, if I'm not mistaken, Washington too, right? Now they're here in Philadelphia. I don't know what city you're watching from, where y'all from, all right? Now I asked y'all a question, are they doing this over there, right, in the city that you're from? Like, are the little robots taking over businesses? I think a few months ago we was talking about how certain restaurants here in Philadelphia, all right, got rid of their waitresses, right? and their waitresses are robots. New York had it, Philadelphia's getting it. All right. Like, there's a lot of people about to lose their jobs to robots. All right. We've been talking about this for a while. We had, how can I say 6-7 hour lives talking about AIs, a year ago, 2 years ago. Right. So man, shout out to those that listen, that's when it was popping. Right? We had people coming up here not scared, speaking, talking. All right. Shout out to those that, love having these conversations and don't turn into a debate where it goes left. All right.
Boy, Papa Duck, man, back with another one. This is part 2 to my video from earlier, and I told y'all that this video is gonna make sense. If you saw the first one, you will understand. If you didn't, go check it out. Listen.
Hold up. We gotta watch part 1. Hold up. We gotta go to part 1. Give me 1 second. Damn, I took myself out like a fool. All right, so he had a video before that. If the kids crumble and nation crumbles, it starts with the schools first. Okay, so let's see what he's talking about. So this video is supposed to go first. My bad. Oh, I want to mute it, but y'all get on my nerves with these ads. I hope my channel don't got ads like this.
Incredible. Yo, what's happening, man? It's your boy Papa Duck back with another very important video. I'm about to show y'all a video, and it's about how ridiculous the school system is, okay? And this is for the specific agenda. Like, this is happening on purpose. I'm gonna do a second part to this video because I want y'all to check this video out. And when I do the second part, I'm clarifying. But pay attention to this one. I'm telling y'all right now, this shit is by design, okay? It is by design, and it's going to help go with the agendas moving forward. And like I say, my second part video gonna make all the sense. But check this out, man. Make sure y'all share this video, pay close attention to it. And yeah, man, this might be some disturbing stuff right here. Check this out.
What are you going to do when they're all gone? Watch this.
I ultimately decided to leave because...
Hold up, wait a minute. She said, what are we going to do when they're all gone? When who's gone? Give me 1 second. She said that so fast, like, jeez.
Stuff right here. Check this out.
What are you going to do when they're all gone? Watch this.
I ultimately decided to leave because I realized I needed an easier job.
No matter what I try to do, it won't go through their heads.
Called a parent today and I said, just to let you know, your child has an F in my class because they come in and they don't do anything. And then they start screaming. She hung up.
Buddy, why'd you struggle on this quiz? What was hard about it? What was difficult? And they look me dead in my eyes and they say, I'll be honest, I didn't read the passage. What do you mean you didn't read the passage?
School districts are trying to run like companies with the numbers.
Oh, teachers are quitting.
It's not the science of education.
Today I walked out of my job. I did.
I have 2 hours left of my school day and I'm leaving because I'm so stressed out. The students' behavior, their lack of trying, their apathy for school, parents that don't give a shit.
I was getting so...
I agree with the parents that don't give a shit, but why don't some of you that come online admit the same that some teachers admit when, they're out there? All right. The curriculum sucks. Y'all boring these kids to death. Like, at least, I ain't gonna sit here and lie. All right. I grew up in the 90s, early 2000s. All right. I was born in 89. All right. And I'm not gonna lie, man, the teachers that I had were fun. Like, I wanted to go to school until I didn't. Real shit. It depends on the teachers too. All right. Like, I remember a few years back, I was reacting to a video where this kid wanted to learn, but the teacher was all up on her phone, just passing out pamphlets. And she ain't even know what she was teaching these kids. She's just passing out the curriculum, what she was told to do. But how you even gonna know what you're teaching your students, right? If you're stuck on your fucking phone to the point where a student has to get up being recorded by another student, right? Because he's snapping on the teacher because she's on her phone and he's asking her a legit question, right? And teachers like that make kids not want to go to school. Trust me, I had a few when I started going to high school. Like, hold up, wait a minute. Right? Those that don't listen, that don't give a fuck, get mad for every little listen. But it's not all into, it's not just all about the schools, man. A lot of this behavior, parents, man, y'all got to start chastising and disciplining these kids, man. We got to work with the teachers, right? That's my whole point. We got some messed up teachers out here, man, but we do got some good ass teachers. It just so happens that the line gets, the light gets shined a lot on the, messed up teachers, the teachers that have no common sense, that I don't even know why they in that field. Because, it shows that you can't handle the type of behavior that these kids have. And listen, we got good kids, we got bad kids. And unfortunately, some of these kids don't got no home training.
Of trying, their apathy for school, parents that don't give a shit.
I was getting so many questions after I had just explained my directions.
Take out your yellow notebooks, turn to page 14, and the kids just stare.
They're crying because they're getting blamed for literally any and everything that children are doing.
I spend 90% of my day managing kids' emotions, helping to regulate them, managing outbursts and behaviors and tantrums.
I spend so much time managing behavior that sometimes I feel like I'm failing as an educator. I feel like I'm not doing the job that I was hired to do.
That was a 1 hour rabbit hole that I went down watching these videos and just feeling my heart.
That's because the teacher's job is not to teach the kids behavior. That's the parent's job. See, when your child goes into school, your child should already know how to write their name, should know their phone number, should know their first and last name, should know their age, should already know how to use the bathroom and wipe their own ass. All right. But these kids go to school not knowing how to read or write. Expecting the teachers to teach them everything from reading, writing, to the behavior. So yeah, we got, this all goes hand in hand, whether people want to hear it or not, all right? The responsibility falls on both the parents and the teachers. Some teachers are out here and they don't want to teach, all right? They don't give a fuck. They don't speak up. Well, you got other teachers out here fighting, all right, speaking up, getting fired because they're stepping up for the kids. But nobody want to talk about that.
Rate go up. And I get DMs and emails from teachers all the time saying, do you have any words of wisdom? I've always wanted to be a teacher, but this job is not sustainable. Here's what my administration did. What should I do? I called home and this was the reaction I got from a parent. What should I do? I did X, Y, and Z in my class and none of the kids were paying attention. What should I do? I don't know. I try to give the best advice I can. And all of the stopgaps in place to amend this behavior and this cycle are gone. And it's being put on the teachers. What are you going to do when more and more teachers are added to this ever-growing teacher shortage crisis? During COVID, teachers were heroes. You all saw what it was like. Oh my God, how could you do that? I couldn't do that day after day. Do you want to homeschool? Do you want your kids to go to schools that don't have certified teachers? Or
why are you lying about the homeschooling like that, man? Listen, man, you got two options when you homeschool. See, this is what I don't like. The division is caused because some people are mad. All right, look, listen, y'all got homeschooling messed up. All right, a lot of these school teachers, a lot of these teachers that are homeschooling are some good teachers. My son got some good teachers. He be hard-headed sometimes. Listen, I had to fight with him until he started showing his face recently because you have to cam up when you homeschool. All right. You got a teacher that help, that teaches the kid, or you can do it privately where you pick the hours and you teach your kid the curriculums. All right. So you can do it two ways. So I don't like when they do this shit. All right. Because there's nothing wrong with homeschooling your child. All right. If you can manage it, I wouldn't, sit here and say, oh, don't do it. If you can manage it, do it. But it's not an easy task. All right. Because even if you got a teacher teaching your child, you have to be there, how can I say, kind of like an aide. All right. I have to, help your child out still. You have to be on top of them. And that's why I worked hard as hell to try to, get my business started from home. Right. I'm doing everything that I can do, how can I say, to be able to be there? Because I got one, that's in school. Until dad says, hey, go ahead, I'm tired of the school district bullshit. Let's homeschool her. But I got one that's homeschooled because I got tired of the school district bullshit. He's going to open up his house and see, oh shit, man, I'm not going to keep dealing with this. I'm tired. Real shit. But I prefer homeschooling better than the public schools. For real. One, the curriculum ain't shit. It ain't really teaching them shit. It's not drawing their attention. All right. And don't sit here and tell me, oh, the curriculum has been the same. No, they've changed the curriculum time after time. And a lot of these teachers can admit it, but others that feel some type of way because, they can't handle the situation. And I'm not saying because, listen, we got some badass little kids out here, right? Their behavior ain't shit. And we do got some parents that don't give a fuck. But you can't say that all the kids are like that, man. Now you putting all the kids in one pile and labeling them. It's like putting all the women in one pile and labeling them. The same thing, putting all men in one pile and labeling them. No, you can't do that. You got to separate them because they're not all the same.
Or do we, oh my God, how could you do that? I couldn't do that day after day. Do you want to homeschool? Do you want your kids to go to schools that don't have certified teachers? Or do we want to encourage the best and the brightest to get their teaching certification, to get that education, to teach your children to the best of their ability? What do you want?
Lord, misinformation is, that gets used a lot on social media, don't it? These teachers are certified, okay, guys? There are teachers that are certified. Listen, there's a lot of teachers that left the public schools and started homeschooling, all right? They're teaching kids through the computer, all right? So right here, what she just said, I have to stop it, all right? It's misinformation. Nate, baby. We got Nate the Great podcast in the building. Make sure y'all go check him out. Great conversations, great topic, man. Listen, he's another great content creator here on these YouTube platforms, man. Listen, check him out. You won't be disappointed, yo. Shout out to Nate the Great podcast. Nate, baby.
If you want something, administrators, parents, anybody who's involved in a school, you have to act on this or it will all be gone.
Sad, right? And all I'm saying is there's a agenda that they're fulfilling. The
I
crazy
agree
part
with you on
is
that.
a lot of the staffs and teachers don't stick together to see things change, because
Facts.
as it goes up to the higher ups in the school system, they don't give a fuck. They being told what to do. And it's the teachers that have more knowledge and more one-on-one activities with these children. They can better assist the system on how to approach this problem, but they don't give a fuck. This problem is by design. And on my second video, I'm gonna clarify that up. I just got to make a lot of sense on my.
And it is. We're going to the second video right now. Give me 1 second. Let's go to the second video. All right. And that's some factual stuff that he's saying right here. But see, a lot of people don't want to listen to it because he don't, like he said, they don't care. Right. And the same thing goes with the parents. Some of these parents don't care. That's why you don't see a lot of them in these school meetings and these, community meetings and the town halls. But shout out to the ones that do gather up in these, in these events, in these, certain occasions to try to make a difference. A lot of people just give up. But what y'all fail to realize is, do y'all know who the government is? We are the government. Lord, but I'm not gonna get into that right now. I'm about to leave a lot of y'all confused. And guess what? Like he just said, I don't care. Because it's like, oh my God, you should know this.
Wawa's chicken sandwiches are crispy.
Tell me I'm doing the right thing.
Listen. First one, you will understand. If you didn't, go check it out. Listen. The reason that the things that are going on in the school system today with our children is because they're prepping them to accept artificial intelligence, meaning these kids are going to be so under-educated till they're going to be unemployable. They're not going to be able to be employable. You can't employ them, right? And I'm going to show you a short video of what that looks like. I've been saying this shit for years, right? And I'm going to show y'all a video that's going to compare China's kindergartens or children to our children and what they're learning in school. They're setting these kids up to move forward with their agenda. So these kids aren't going to be able to be employed. They're unemployable, which is going to make AI more of the center point, and it's going to make AI more in control of the future, not the children. Check this out.
So there's a video going viral about Gen Z and Gen Alpha being unemployable. And I'm 100% sure that is true. I have seen for myself people who come into interviews late, if they show up at all. I have seen people come in with their parent. I have seen people come up in pajamas. I have seen people in the middle of an interview ask if they can call their mother so she can explain the question to them or give them an example. I have seen people with no education, and I mean none, no education past high school, demand higher pay, higher benefits, like more leeway, and you don't even have the education to back that up. And it's all because these children are so entitled and they're not used to working for anything.
Because I'm glad she explained children, because I'm sitting here, look, listen, man, there's plenty of people that have gotten their jobs, all right, earned their way up from the mud, all right, and they deserve a higher pay. Just because they don't have a diploma, they don't deserve a higher pay. I'm tired of hearing that. It was crazy because the people that you're saying don't deserve a higher pay have busted their asses to get to where they at. And just because, you have a diploma doesn't mean that you're smarter than the one that doesn't have a diploma. But that's not my point. All right. That is not my point. I just hate when they, when they use that, when they say that, because it's not true. Like, that's some fucked up shit that people throw out there, yo. I've seen people without diplomas, right, get done the job, right, that a person with a diploma that is certified is supposed to get done. And it's because they pay better attention. It's just that, for whatever the reason is, they couldn't get, how can I say, a diploma. I've seen people get certified without diplomas because they're good at what they do. And they're, it's like, damn, all right, we got this one that's certified, but you can get the job done better. And then I see people like her complain. And I'm not saying that she's completely wrong because, what's going on with this generation is true. A lot of these kids are lazy. But don't say everyone. Be specific on what you're talking about.
I said that in my video about No Child Left Behind. These children have been set up for failure.
Oh, yes, they have.
Do you know
I
what
agree with
Chinese
that.
kindergartens are like? While kids in other kindergartens eat, sleep, and play games, kids in this Chinese kindergarten do laundry and cook, learning self-reliance.
Hey, Papa Duck got the video that I reacted to 2 years ago. Shout out to Papa Duck, man. This is one of the videos that are coming up in my shorts. I think if I haven't uploaded it yet, all right, on how they educate. I think if I'm not mistaken, if I ain't uploaded it, it might be on China versus America. I don't know. I gotta check it because I got the video. I know it was right there. I don't know if I uploaded it or if it's up to upload next. All right, but listen, this video has been surfacing for a minute already. And it's true, man. And China is different. All right. They raise their kids like this and they make it fun. The education for the kids is actually fun. But it seems like what? Child labor here in America.
Play games, kids in this Chinese kindergarten do laundry and cook, learning self-reliance. They have outdoor stoves proportionate to their height, and they make their own meals every day, from washing and chopping vegetables to cooking. They eat their own cooked meals with such gusto you'd think they're licking the plates clean.
Versus American kindergarten.
We go shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Oh yeah. Anybody know what a shimmy is? Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. I think I have shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. The shoulders on the drag queen go shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Oh, yeah, I think so.
If you have Snap or
That's why I hate these commercials. I'm on the wrong channel. Yes, I am. Lord have mercy, these damn commercials. All right, I want to say something real quick. All right, growing up, right, in the 90s when I was going to school, right, in middle school and in high school, if I'm not mistaken, right, we had classes like sewing. All right, sewing. We had cooking classes in high school. We hit high school before you graduate. I'm not sure. I think they still have it. All right, you can graduate high school certified as a nurse. I'm not sure if they still have it. All right, and this was in the 2000s. All right. You can graduate high school certified as a nurse. All right. Before you graduated high school, it's like a trade. All right. They gave you, and you was graduating high school with some type of trade. I'm not sure if all the high schools have it. I know some high schools still have, the program where you can graduate with that trade, but they took it away from a lot of schools. Shit, here in Philadelphia, some schools are uniting because they was planning on closing down 20 schools. All right. But now what's happening is some schools are coming together. Man, shit's about to get crazy here in Philadelphia. Because it's kind of like the way they have it in Ohio. And I hate it, how they got the grades all mixed up together, all the students together. I hate it when they should be separated. But if y'all want to do it like that, y'all might as well educate the kids the way they're getting educated in China shit. But it's like they don't listen. Even as a kid, I was told, all right, and this is why I tell people, man, like I love educating myself. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, all right? And people get mad at me when I say it, but then how can you be for the school, right, and against the school? Shit, at one point, the schools were doing what they were supposed to be doing. They had all these type of programs, but y'all took them away. And that's when I started agreeing with, like my grandpa and stuff like that. Man, school is for fools. All right, on some real shit, especially when y'all took away all these programs. How y'all take away sex ed and add LGBT community into it? Like listen, let's get back to this. Let's get back to it because I will go in on this shit. But I've learned. We don't need another strike. Well, I got one already. All right, I got a strike that's gonna last me until April. So, shit.
That motherfucker. Claude Schwab. That motherfucker. He the one who created the World Health, not World Health, but the World Economic Forum. These is where the richest, influential people in the world come and they have meetings every year. And they meetings is going to depict how your life is going to be or not be. These are the people that run your life, not the white Jesus that they gave us, but them motherfuckers. And these people said it out their mouth. Even Larry Fink, I think that's his name, CEO of BlackRock, he said they're going to be doing what they call forced behaviors, meaning meaning these employers are going to have to do what they say do, not what you say do, but what they say do. They're gonna force do what they call forced behaviors when it comes to the workspace, meaning the way the world runs, you got to catch up with them. They don't have to catch up with you, and to put our future, which is the children, in a position to where they cannot be employed by these companies, which is going to make us implement AI even more into our lives, which gives us no control. Everything is going from artificial to official. This is why everything that's fake is becoming real, because they can control robots. They can control us too, to a certain degree, but they can 100% control robots.
Facts.
And if they take our lives,
Facts.
which they're doing right in front of us, if they take our lives and convert us over to cyborgs, which they basically have done, right? We are cyborgs. We use some type of computer, robot, something that's involved in our lives, right, to assist us in our daily lives. So we are
Facts, Papa Duck. The problem is that a lot of people are not ready to receive this type of message. For real, for real. Others are. And shout out to the ones that are ready to receive, man. Because if you're watching this today, all right, you are a part of the solution, not a part of the problem.
cyborgs involved in our lives, right, to assist us in our daily lives. So we are cyborgs. But once that shit go 100% cyborg or 100% AI, you won't have no control of this shit. I say this to say, I told you so. And I hate to say that, but I'm telling you, the way the world is going, the way that they're just passing our children, these children they're not like how we used to be, how we took tests and we really was, they're not doing that shit no more. They just want them to be in a position to what they call brought to an animal state. And when you bring a person to an animal state mentally, that means they can be controlled. All you need is what you need, just enough to be controlled. How to read, how to write. And some of these kids can't even do that no more. They don't even know how to tell time on the clock. They took all this shit away. And this is what America's doing. Not other countries. America. America is a motherfucking setup. This is a setup from the get up. This is a country where they're going to enslave all their people like they've done, like they're doing, enslave all of us. And moving forward, it puts them in the driver's seat of our lives. Now, remember, this has nothing to do with the God you've been worshiping. It has nothing to do with how much you go to church. I say that all the time so that a lot of y'all that think religion gonna save y'all, it ain't. Because these are the same people that gave you that same version of religion. Play dumb if you want, act crazy if you want, that's on you.
And that's a fact, man. That's why, listen, shout out to Papa Duck, shout out to The Word, shout out to Mouthpiece, shout out to SBK. All right, shout out to Ms. Yoko, shout out to Ms. Akimi, shout out to Blended Realms Healings, right? Listen, man, a lot of them bring a lot of greater awareness, right? They speak the truth. Listen, I don't know if y'all remember that phrase by Abraham Lincoln. I've been messing around with quotes, right? With my poetry, right? And I've been transforming a lot of these quotes into poetry, right? And I don't know if y'all remember that quote from Abraham Lincoln. This is why earlier I said, man, like, the world government is supposed to be us, right? But what are we doing? You see where I'm coming from? Right? It's like, listen, I'm gonna put it like this, because I had turned that whole quote into, a poem, and I call it the People's Creed, right? And, it's supposed to say something like the government for the people, right? By the people, something shall not perish from this earth at all, right? And that was Abraham Lincoln, if I'm not mistaken. All right, I don't know if y'all know the phrase. Hopefully a lot of y'all do know the phrase, all right? I got a poem. And I could explain it better, through the poem, right? Because we're supposed to be the government, but it's like, hey, what are we doing? We're not even putting people into, how can I say, to become the mayor, the governor. Sometimes it's like, if what would have happened if everybody, kind of like boycotted the government? What would happen? What would happen if the government shuts down, breaks down? How would people survive? I don't even think people can survive if the grid, was to, get cut off, go down. Motherfuckers will really be living like Mad Max out here, Resident Evil with no zombies. I keep saying it time after time. But listen, this poem is called The People's Creed, right? And it goes like this. Government for the people, we stand tall. By the people, we answer the call. For the people, united we fall. Shall not perish from this earth at all, right? Power to the citizens, that's our creed. Together we rise, fulfill our need. In unity and justice we succeed. The government of the people is what we heed, right? No trinity or corruption in our land. But yet, what are these politicians doing? They're committing trinity and corruption, right? But let's continue with the poem. No trinity or corruption in our land, with liberty and justice hand in hand. But what's going on? Where is the justice? Where's the liberty, right? But anyways, we fight for what's right, take a stand for the people by the people is our brand, right? That's how it's supposed to be. For the people by the people is the brand, right? Democracy thrives in every heart. Our voices rise to tear apart any threat that's, tearing us apart. Government of the people shall never depart. But if it's like that, right, according to Abraham Lincoln, we're supposed to be the government, right? We're supposed to be, how can I say changing these laws? But how many people, but the few people that you see in town hall, you see go head to head with these politicians? Many do it. But, those that actually do it, how can I say, get pushed to the side, they get, how can I say, swing, right? But where's the unity? We don't have them, right? And that's what I'm seeing. And that's why, the warriors that actually do fight, right? They fight until they can't no more. Well, they manage to, make a change in the difference, but the ones around, right, within communities, social media spaces, they don't even realize who are the ones that are actually fighting to make these changes, right? That's why I got a poem right here for the warriors that fight to, speak up and still live their lives. You see where I'm coming from? Those that are never noticed. It's called Refuse to Abide, right? And it goes like this. Dreamers with a fire burning deep inside. They see the world and refuse to abide. Crazy enough to believe they can make a stand. Watch them rise, changing the lay of the land. Innovators pushing boundaries every day. They won't settle for what others say. Their vision clear, their passion true. Changing the world is what they'll do. Against all odds, they'll forge ahead with determination that never fled. The ones who dare to challenge the status quo are the ones who make the world's heartbeat grow. So here's to those who never cease to try, to those who reach for the stars in the skies, crazy enough to think they could change it all. And in their courage, we stand tall. Man, so shout out to the ones that keep speaking up, fighting, and no matter what, all right, they find a way to make a change and difference within, their community or their life. And then their community, right? Because you got to start with you first. It starts at home. If you can't make a change and a difference in your life, you cannot make a change and a difference in other people's lives.
Remember, just like they say in law, ignorance is no excuse.
Facts.
Because you're ignorant to what's going on and what's going to happen. It's not going to save your ass, brother. So what I'm telling you is this. I'm showing y'all these videos to show how they're prepping these kids up to be controlled. Now, what are you going to be able to do in the next 30, 40 years? If you be here fucking with this fucked up food, the children are the future. And that could be in a good way or a bad way. So if they are setting our children up to not even be capable of employment or be in a position to control their future, meaning everything is just going to be handed over to AI. Those children are going to accept AI without no pushback.
Facts. They already.
It's over, bro. It is.
They doing it, and the parents are falling for it. How many kids, how many parents don't, you don't hear about or see sit here and just throw a tablet or a phone, and give it to their kid and say, fuck it, I don't want to be bothered by you. They don't sit and they don't talk to their kids. They don't answer the questions, that their kids have. Their kid can see something on TV, they have questions, and they don't sit down and talk to them. This is why I say that I'm blessed, all right? I'm grateful for, every day having breath in my lungs. Every morning waking up and, having the chance to say good morning to my kids. You see where I'm coming from? Making them breakfast. Even though they a pain in the ass from time to time. You see where I'm coming from? But shit, I love the crap out of my kids, all right? Without my kids, man, I don't think I'll be here right now. Because I wouldn't see, how can I say for me, life wouldn't be worth living, for real, because they're the reason I'm here. They're the reason I fight hard. And that's my job as a parent. I'm supposed to be around my child. All right, until they're able to, stand up for their own. I have a 19-year-old autistic son, right? Even though, he can't keep a job long enough, all right, he still finds a way to get another job and maintain, a place to keep his head in. He figured out, how to live his life the way he wanted with his little Virgo ass, for real. Because listen, I feel as though that Virgos are explorers. They're adventurers. And my son loves to explore adventure. He loves being alone. He doesn't like being surrounded with a lot of people. See where I'm coming from? And it's like, you can't break his little schedule. Once his little schedule is broken, it's like it's hard to get him back into a schedule. So I'm proud of him. You see where I'm coming from? Because like, at the end of the day, I'm like those mothers out here that don't treat their kid like they got a disease or an illness. Because his autism doesn't define who he is. And him doing the things that he's doing today, I can honestly say I'm a proud mother. Am I, do I get nervous sometimes? Do my heart beat? Because, he's out there, he's on his own. And, people with autism, you have to be there. Yes. As any normal mother would be. Like, damn, all right, I had to pop the nipple out my child's mouth. But he's only 19, but, I can't keep babying him, all right? Like, and I'm glad that I raised him the way that I did. That I, raised him like he was normal and not, with a child that has a mental health illness or nothing like that. And what's crazy is, right, now he's grown, he does things his own way. When I changed his diet, all right, my child's diet and stuff like that, he started, it's kind of like, like you could actually say, oh, snap, we cured the autism. But it's not really fully cured, all right? Because it's like, once that diet gets back into your system, it starts coming back out. It's weird, right? Once you change their diet, it works. But once they go back to the old habits, it's like the illness is back. Kind of like cancer. It comes and it goes unless you got the real cure to it, which nobody won't know, unless there's a 51, but you say that, right? Like, I'll say it like that, but let's continue with the video because this is the last video we're playing, and I'm going to end this, John, man. I appreciate those that came through, but, man, I just wanted to put this out there, yo. Like, these are the things that we need to talk about, right? And as, people that keep saying that we want to make a change, these are the conversations that I feel as though are needed. This is why I picked these type of videos and these topics.
Fucking over. But this is what happened when the enemy's controlling your food, your education, your lives. All we have to do is detach. If everybody get up one day and say, fuck work, what are they going to do? You tell me.
I just asked that question.
All we got to do is detach. Okay? But I just showed y'all how these people are grooming these children up to be seduced to an animal state, so therefore they can be controlled, and therefore they can bring on AI fully and wipe us the fuck out. Okay? This ain't no joke. Hey, man, put your comments on the bottom of this video. See what you got to say.
Shout out to Papa Duck, man. Shout out to Papa Duck, man. I pray for this man for real, for bringing the type of awareness that he does. But, listen, man, he was saying some real shit right here. I feel as though that it's time for a lot of us to really wake up and smell the coffee, all right? A lot of the things that we want to accomplish and need to accomplish, right, the answers are inside of us. All right, like if we look deep inside, all right, we'll find the answers that we're all searching for. But unless we come together, man, we ain't gonna accomplish a lot of things, right? And I've been messing around with a lot of Malcolm X's quotes and phrases. All right, I've turned them into poetry. So I'm gonna read some of those. Well, they're gonna be uploaded to the shorts soon. So, anyways, man, listen, that's all the time that I got right now. I think I wasn't trying to hit 3 hours. I was trying to hit 2 hours. But hey, we made it to 3 hours. I gotta get off this, John. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the stream. If y'all did, man, smash that like button for a shorty. We didn't, man. This like button is right there. But if y'all can, man, like I said before, share the video for a shorty. That helps a shorty out a lot, man. Shout out to the world. Shout out to SBK. Shout out to Mouthpiece. Shout out to Ms. Yoda. Shout out to Ms. Yokimi. I mean Ms. Ms. Akimi. Shout out to shout out to all the great content creators that are out here. All right. And like I said, man, unless we unite, we ain't accomplishing nothing. We ain't doing nothing. Like he said, and like I said earlier, what would happen if all of us got together, right, and said, hey, fuck it, we ain't working, and we stop the money flow? But see, people ain't gonna do that because a lot of people can't go. Listen, how can I say, I need to eat, I need to do this? Well, learn something from these movies, Mad Max, Resident Evil, all these movies out here that are showing you. They keep saying we're gonna have a zombie apocalypse. It ain't a zombie apocalypse that we're gonna have, all right? It's gonna be like Resident Evil, all right, but it's gonna be more like Mad Max. But with that being said, man, that's all the time that I got, man. We gonna touch on this topic another time. I did drop the link. Nobody came up but the word. So I'm off this, John, and I'll see you next time. We out.
Religiously, understand the 7 principles of hell. You understand the 7 demons within you. You understand the whole concept. There's a whole metaphysical concept. We ain't go over that, but anyway, so can't manifest because they don't even believe they can have what they asking for. You got to match that frequency. And belief is a feeling. It's not a thought. Right? This is where people get all this mixed up. So many things you won't why. So you can use those 5 senses so you can get a feeling of what the things are. So now you have a clearer picture of what the things are. So now people will try to manifest and look for the object they manifesting, but they not matching the frequency of it. So what happens is the universe gives you things to build you up to matching that frequency, to your own personal belief that you even deserve what you're asking for.
Yo, you spitting some gems right there, coach. But for those of y'all in the background, man, check this out, yo. They say karma's bad, but is it true? Depending on your actions. That's how she'll come for you. She's a friend to me, but an enemy in your head. Karma brings me peace, while in your mind she spreads dread. We blame God for the problems around us, turning a deaf ear to our own mistakes. We blame the devil for our misguided actions, lost in the shadows of regret and mistakes. Elders criticize, we rebel in return, cutting off potential, lessons unlearned, butterflies trapped in cocoons, dreams adjourned, a cycle of disrespect, the flames still burn, parents strife growth, children push away, generations clash, never finding a way, in heaven in progress, the price we pay, butterflies grounded, never to sway, the cycle repeats, a never-ending chain, misunderstandings persist, causing pain, which lingers like a stain, generations at odds, searching in vain, we're stuck in a cycle of pain and sorrow, hoping for a better tomorrow. Black lives matter, white lives matter too, it's time to unite and break through. I'm just saying, it's 2025, but it feels like it's 1942. Black lives matter, white lives matter, that's the plea, blaming the white man for all the hate that we see, yet we're still killing our own kin, can't break free, struggling to find peace in this chaotic scene, racism and violence staring at the seams, pointing fingers while we continue to demean, looking ahead with hope in our hearts, learning from our past mistakes, making new starts, together we stand against all that tears us apart, black or white, it's time for a fresh start, we're quick to point fingers at others, but in reality, it's ourselves that we need, the power to change lies within us, why blame others when we can be our own lead? Just a little food for thought.
They're going to trick you. They're going to told you there's something outside you coming into you. That's how they get you to accept God is outside you. That's that whole concept. God knows it's in you. That's why when you have a deep desire, things come true. When you get that feeling of God in a way. Because that's true. But it's not outside of you, it's inside. They don't want you to know it's inside. Because there's a group of people, it's not inside of you. They have to get you to participate and give that energy away so they can have those experiences. And that's what most people do. I worship something outside themselves. You're giving that energy away. I should have did this on word.
In the balance of right and wrong, karma scales tip where they belong. She rewards my deeds with serenity, but in your thoughts, she breathes enmity. What you sow, you shall reap. Karma's justice runs deep. I find solace in her embrace, while she hunts you with no grace. And the wrong generation lost in time's illusion. God's mixed up in my mother's womb, a cosmic confusion. Feeling out of place like a puzzle piece misplaced. Searching for my purpose in this unfamiliar space. Born into a world that doesn't quite fit. A old soul trapped in a modern day script. Yearning for simplicity, longing for connection. In a fast-paced world of constant rejection, I navigate this life with an ancient soul's gaze. Struggling to find my path in these chaotic days. Perhaps God had a plan beyond what I can see, to challenge me to grow and set my spirit free.
But they didn't trick you. They done told you it's something outside you coming into you. That's how they get you to accept God is outside you. That's that old concept. God knows it's in you. That's why when you have a deep desire, things come true. When you get that feeling of God made a way. Because that's true. But it's not outside of you. It's inside. They don't want you to know it's inside. Because there's a group of people, it's not inside of them. They have to get you to participate and give that energy away so they can have those experiences. And that's what most people do. By worshiping something outside themselves. You're giving that energy away.
It's your word.
I should have did this on word.
Yeah, we living in a world where the rules don't apply. They say we gotta follow, but we ready to fly. The system got us boxed in, trying to keep us small. But we rise like the phoenix, we ain't scared to brawl. They feeding us lies, but we see through the smoke. We're the voice of the people, we're ready to provoke. They want us to divide, but we're stronger as one. Breaking chains, taking names, yeah, we getting it done. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. Fist in the air, yeah, we taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. In the world of division, they showed us how to share. But the weight of our sorrows, they never taught us to bear. We split our joys and laughter, but the pain remained untold. A burden we carry alone, a story left untold. They taught us to split everything, but not the heavy pain. He lingers in the shadows, a darkness we can't explain. We're left with shattered pieces, trying to mend what's lost. They taught us how to split everything, but not the heavy cost. We learned to divide our dreams and multiply our fears. But the ache in our hearts only grew with passing years. They gave us all the answers, except how to heal. The scars that run so deep, wounds that time can't seal. Yeah, they taught us how to share, but only the good. Smiles and laughter like we understood. But deep down inside, there's a storm we hide. Pain in our hearts, we're just trying to ride. Put on a mask, yeah, we play the part, but nobody sees the cracks in the hearts. We share our dreams, the highs and the lows, but when it comes to hurt, we just close the doors. We share the fun times, deflect the pain, laughing in the sunshine, dancing in the rain. But the shadows linger, they creep and they crawl, breaking us down, but we don't share at all. We got hate in our hearts, but we keep concealed. Taught to share the joy, but wounds, they stay unhealed. They said love was easy to divide, but the heartache never subsides. We tried to split everything into two, but the pain lingers strong and true. Shared our dreams, divided our fears, but the sorrow remained through the years. No matter how we tried to let go, the weight of our suffering continued to grow. Now we're apart trying to heal, but some wounds are too deep to conceal. They said splitting up will set us free, yet the pain lingers in you and me. In a world where rules are set in stone, the system's grip tightens, we're not alone. Bound by chains of majestic greed, against the odds we fight to be free. Mighty forces try to keep us down, but our spirits rise, refusing to drown. Defying norms, breaking through the mold. In this battle of wills, our story is told. As the clash continues day by day, we stand united, come what may. For in this world where rules don't apply, our strength and unity will never die. They tried to silence our dreams, but we're loud and clear. With every step forward, conquering fear. They can't hold us back. We're the fire and the flame in this battle for freedom. We're all in the game. They say it's just a game, but we're playing for keeps. With the strength of the many, we're shattered elites. No more puppets on strings, we're cutting the ties. With our eyes on the prize, we're reaching for the skies. So let's stand together, let's break down the walls. In this fight for our future, we'll answer the calls. From the ashes, we'll rise like a storm. Riders ignite. It's us versus the system, and we're ready to fight. They building walls, but we're digging tunnels. With every step we take, we're shaking their bundles. From the streets to the courts, we're raising our voice. In a world full of noise, we're making the choice. They want to keep us blind, but we see the light. Knowledge is power, and we're ready to fight. From the corners of the city to the halls of the state, where the heartbeat of the struggle can't afford to wait. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. This in the air, yeah, we're taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. They taught us to split everything, but not the heavy pain. It lingers in the shadows, a darkness we can't explain. We're left with shattered pieces, trying to mend what's lost. They taught us how to split everything, but not the heavy cost. Now we stand here broken, searching for some light, hoping for a way out of this never-ending night. But through it all, we find strength in each other's embrace. Together we'll face tomorrow and find solace in this space. They say don't bring the drama, keep it all light. But every night I'm fighting these demons in sight. Whispers in my mind, yeah, they echo and they shout. While I'm smiling on the surface, I'm breaking without. We're sharing the laughter, but what's underneath? A battlefield of sorrow, a war with no peace. We're warriors in silence, but nobody knows how the pain that we carry just grows and it grows. In a world of lessons learned, they taught us how to stand and burn. But the scars we hide deep inside are the ones that never subside. We followed all rules they made, but the emptiness never fades. Their wounds like knives, cutting through even wounds that always grew. They painted pictures of success, but couldn't fix what's left from us. Now we're left to bear the strain of the pain that lingers, never wanes. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. That's in the air, yeah, we're taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. To remember this moment, remember this face, remember this sound. We're the voice of the future, and we won't back down. In the shadow of my dream. Do you know I believed everything you ever said to me? First man I ever put my shield down for. Look at how you played me. Give you my heart for what? I told you it's not that easy to tame me. Give you my heart for what? I don't want no one to entertain me. Give you my heart for what? When you already blame me. Sacrifice is what I hear you tell me. Sometimes I feel like you don't even know me. Lord, please help me. The situation is really starting to annoy me. Tell me what we do now. Looking for something where there's nothing, I don't want to argue anymore. Living with the illusion that one day you'll love me the same way that I do, but I'm just a game to you. You're looking for vengeance in me while I'm dreaming of a future for us. I don't know what to do anymore. Sacrifice is what I hear you tell me. Shoot, I don't even want to see you anymore. They say that from love we cannot escape, so why lie to each other? I don't even feel you anymore. I know they already tore your heart apart. I gave you my heart and you watched it bleed. They tore you into pieces. I just want you to know that that wasn't me. They hurt you and that messed you up. But tell me, why do I have to pay the consequences? Maybe you love someone that you shouldn't have loved. You made a fatal decision. Tell me, why do I have to pay the consequences? Maybe they played you. They didn't really love you. It was probably an adventure. Nothing more than just a game to them. They never really gave you a chance. I just really had to pay the consequences. Damn, I would have never thought we made it this far. I'm sitting here thinking, you thinking that you love me, me wanting to believe you. It all felt so real what we were living, even though in our hearts we didn't mean it. God, damn, we're in so deep. Do you know I believed everything you ever said to me? First person I ever put my shield down for, and look at how you played me. Give you my heart for what? I told you it's not that easy to tame me. Give you my heart for what? I don't want no one to entertain me. Give you my heart for what? When you already blame me. Sacrifice is what I hear you tell me. Sometimes I feel like you don't even know me. Lord help me. This situation is really starting to annoy me. I remember the first time I made my mama a promise. I was so young, fucked up in the head, had to toughen up. Even though that was a promise I knew I could never keep. Just peep, cause this is deep. Mama, I try to reach. Why you try to preach? You knew he was nothing but a leech. He was just like Adam. But instead of the apple, he grabbed the fruit of your leaves, and to him they tasted like peach. That's when I knew that promises were meant to be broken. If they don't come from the heart. Damn, that's fucked up, mama. You put your child in the middle of your problems. You put your whole world on your child's shoulder. Not once thinking that in the future she'll have her own burdens. She screamed, mama, please, while she begged on her knees. Let my protector come back into my life with her wrist sliced in the air. God, please. As time passed by, she learned what a curse and a blessing was, and now she is blessed to be. You got motherfuckers talking about that they want to make a change, they want to make a difference, but still stuck in the same phase. You got motherfuckers talking about that they want to chase a bag, but stay at home and nag. Then when you ask them what they need, They say less talking, more opinions, no prayers with division. You ask me, y'all need to focus more on revision, rely less on television. How you want a future you have no vision? This world is just like fiction. What we need is more talking, less opinions, more prayers with no division. Before you come up with a conclusion, giving people false illusions, pick up a book, do your research, learn your history before you end up in a ditch making history. Division and religion isn't working. The only way to show God our faith and love is through our actions. Our convictions is the only thing that really unite us. One God, one nation, different beliefs. There's words that can't fly with the wind. There's insults that are not violent. Meanwhile, while you're holding them, they're killing you on the inside. If I was to tell you that I didn't hurt, I would be lying. Would you believe me if I was to tell you that there's truths that lie, especially when they're telling you that they're indifferent? Getting shoved to the side because you're different. There's a hug out there someone didn't receive today. Probably because of what was said about them yesterday. Probably because of the way they was dressed today. Not realizing that the one that they hate could be the one that saves their day. But you know what? Thanks to them, it's another day in history where you get to flip the pages to your book and speak your story. And Lord, it's unholy. But you know what hurts the most? As I walk down the street and I see how easily we're divided. When we all should be united. One body, one mind, one soul, a million talents. Lord, without you, we're all divided. Forgive them, Lord, for they don't know any better. They don't know that there's someone out there that loves them. Some people will always have a place in my heart, but not in my life.
Hey, yo, Flory, turn me up.
Because when I tell you that it hurts, it hurts. Envy in your eyes, yet you want trust. Can't tell if you're an enemy or a friend. I mean, back then when I was naive, now I'm older, some say wiser. I'm no fool. I'm only a friend when convenient. Took a while to understand that it was real and never leave. Only when you're in pain and alone, you know who you can really depend on. You say you a friend, where were you when I needed a hand? Shit, you was following a trend. A friend ain't nothing but $1 in your pocket when the money gone, so are they. And they say a friend in need is a friend indeed. You watched as I drown, now I'm getting around while you in the dog pound. Shit. It's funny how karma has a tendency of bringing things back around. It's not funny when the one you look up to is the one wearing the crown. You nothing but a clown. What you need to do is bring that ass back around town and, like Deja says, smack a nigga with an open hand. This world is crazy. I would say shady. Ironic, right? Nowadays, you can't trust no one. When you do, niggas be having their panties all in a bunch, thinking that they own one. Saying the things that you accomplished in life is theirs and that you owe them one. Nowadays, your friends turn into enemies, and your family members are your biggest haters. Can't see you accomplish anything. More crazy is that they say as time passed by, they will heal everything. I seen time flash by and it revealed everything, leaving me on standby, ready to kill everything. Alone in the mirror saying, girl, you're everything. You don't need for anything, shorty. So if you haven't walked a mile in my shoes, take a minute and listen so you can consume everything. Me and you are not the same, so make sure that when you cross me, you look both ways, and that's with everything. Yeah, we all got dreams, but we stuck in the grind. Looking back at the past, but it's time to unwind. Everyone can do it, just gotta take that step. Stop dwelling on the losses, let's rewrite the rep. Hating on the president, calling him corrupt. But let me break it down, we gotta interrupt. Law's been in place, he's just playing the game. Ain't about the man, it's about the system's name. How do we move forward? Let's add something new. Together we can rise, yeah, that's what we do. Don't get stuck in the past, let the hate fall away. We building the future, let's seize the day. Can't you see? You bleeding all over the matrix. Caught in the hype, man, it's all fake tricks. The medic bag's empty, y'all shit out of luck. Wake up before you get stuck. Y'all act like y'all in love, but y'all really in lust. Lost in the fame and the fortune. You ain't got no sense. You got the influencer fixation. You let them run your life. Red or blue, you're just a puppet with strings, always in strife. You think they care, but they don't give a damn. Just chasing the glow, the celebrity clout. They'll play both sides, the red and the blue, but they're just pulling your strings while you're stuck on your move. You're waiting for someone to tell you you're in luck, but mommy and daddy ain't coming, they're not in the cut. You're so blinded by the fame, the glitz and the glam, you forget what's real and who you really are. Wake up and see that you're just a pawn in the game. The red and the blue, they're all just the same. Stop being a puppet and take control of your life and break free from the chains. It's time to ignite. How do we move forward? Let's add something new. Together we can rise. Yeah, that's what we do. Don't get stuck in the past. Let the hate fall away. We build in the future. Let's seize the day. Can't you see? You bleeding all over the matrix. Caught in the hype. Man, it's all fake tricks. The medic bag empty. Y'all shit out of luck. Wake up before you get stuck. Yo, I see the struggle, I feel the pain, but we can't let the darkness keep us chained. We got the power, the voice is the might. Let's come together, to wrongs and to right. Everyone's a player, so step to the front. No more division, let's rise from the blunt. It's not just about politics, it's a call to unite. Stand tall, move forward, let's ignite the light. Yeah, we're all in this together, no need to divide. Let's focus on the future, let the love be our guide. From the streets to the halls, let's make change. Break the chains of the past, let's rearrange. Y'all really stuck, puppets with strings attached, waiting for mommy and daddy to tell them they give a fuck. Y'all wondering why y'all stuck? Damn, can't y'all see? Y'all bleeding all over the matrix and the medic bag is empty. Soldier, soldier, in the game of life. You're playing with invisible strings, trying to prove your worth, but you're just a pawn in a bigger fight. They say you're just a number, another statistic in the system, but you're a soul with a story to tell. So stand up tall, break those strings, prove to the world that you're more than just a marionette. Don't let them control your destiny. You're the master of your own fate. Don't be afraid to go after and take. How do we move forward? Let's add something new. Together we can rise. Yeah, that's what we do. Don't get stuck in the past. Let the hate fall away. We're building the future. Let's seize the day. Can't you see? You're bleeding all over the matrix. Caught in the hype. Man, it's all fake tricks. The medic's bag is empty. Y'all shit out of luck. Wake up before you're stuck. Everyone can do it. How do we move forward? How do we do this? Just add something to it. Some stay stuck in the past. That's not how we last. Y'all hating on the president saying he corrupt. I don't know who he is. I feel like he's implementing what already exists. We gotta rise above the hate and focus on progress. Together we can make a change and leave behind the mess. It's easy to point fingers and place blame, but true change comes from taking action and making a change. Let's unite and work together for a better tomorrow. Instead of dwelling on what's wrong, let's focus on what we can borrow. The power lies within us to create a new path, to break free from the chains of doubt and wrath. Believe in ourselves and each other. As we strive for greatness, together we can overcome any obstacle that tries to hold us back. Think about it. It's a little bit of food for thought. Yo. Damn. Man. Y'all act like y'all in lust, chasing shadows lost in the glitter and dust. Scrolling through the feeds like it's life or death. But these influencers don't care, man. They just cashing checks. Stuck in a cycle, puppets on a string. Waiting for likes like it's everything. Red or blue, y'all fighting over crumbs. While the real world's burning, y'all just hum and strong. Hum strong until you know. Prayers out for a real. Never in my life
that I think that I would see so many disrespectful elders like on this app.
How can you respect an older woman who pretends to be nice, but she's just fronting, claims to be a queen, but she's just chasing men, bashing them all for a bag? Where's the respect then? You claim to be a victim, but on this app taking 15 inches. What a trap. You say you're a survivor. Oh my, I'm lost. Where have I been? This old lady's a call. Excellence you claim to be, but all I see is insecurity. You don't know how to love yourself, reflecting on others, your pain and wealth. You talk a big game, but you're just a mess. Chasing after men, causing distress. You say you're a queen, but you're just a fraud. Using others for your own facade. What a lost cause. You bash men, but you know better. Playing the victim, but you're the predator. Taking what you want without a care, but deep down you're just scared. Excellence you claim to be, but all I see is insecurity. You don't know how to love yourself, reflecting on others, your pain and wealth. You may think you're strong, but you're weak inside. Using others to fill the void you hide. But true strength comes within, not from chasing men or committing sin. Excellence you claim to be, but all I see is insecurity. You don't know how to love yourself, reflecting on others, your pain and wealth. So take a look in the mirror, old lady, and see the truth that lies within. You can't find happiness in others. You must learn to love yourself to truly win. Out in the garden we have a snake. Take your time to observe before you make a mistake. This old lady with a smile may make you believe she's a victim, but beware, she will deceive. Don't be fooled, she's really Lilith in disguise, giving out fruit baskets to hide the lies. Behind the facade, she takes food from people's mouths. What a scam, claiming to fight for men's rights in her house. On this app, bashing men with her lies, wanting people to defend her because of her age. Oh my, how do we step up for an older woman so sly, looking for the mess she gets in? Oh why? Speaking on the deaths of someone's loved one because they didn't pick her side. She's undone, mad at the world. A celebrity wants nothing to do with her, twerking for the world to see. Lacking in respect, it's a blur. No respect, lacking in morals. She keeps on twerking for the world to see. Her behavior is irking. An old lady on this platform crossing this earth, but we see through her facade she's just a blur. So beware of the snake in the garden with a smile that hides the lies she pardons. Don't be fooled by her act of innocence. She's just a deceiver lacking in sense. Out on Jamaica Street, there's an old lady who can't accept her age. It's shady, promoting her kitty cat like it's young, but we all know it's full of spider webs, stung. She's on this app trying to catfish men while bashing women. Oh, when will it end? I suggest this lady do her research. She lacks history, her behavior's a birch. She believes is believe all women. Oh my, using that to play victim. Oh why? Stuck in an era when dinosaurs roam. She needs to wake up, stop being so bloomed. So let's all laugh at this lady so bold, thinking she's young, but she's just old. Her kitty cat may not be the best, but hey, at least she's trying to impress. Out in Jamaica Street, a wannabe Jamaican mad at a celebrity, placing all the blame, saying we're the reason he don't like her, forgetting to look in the mirror. What a blur, blaming the world for all his wounds, living in shame, insecurity shows. Ego too big, can't let go of the past, hurting all in her path. What a blast, demanding respect because of her age, forgetting it's earned, not just a wage, reflecting her pain, holding on to the pride, but in reality she's just taking us for a ride. So next time you see her, just give her a smile, for she's living in the world of the now. Let her be with her insecurities and all, and remember, respect is not just a call. This one's for the older ladies demanding respect like they're the greatest, but respect is earned, not given freely. If you lack morals, honor, and integrity, y'all expect us to bow down, treat you like queens with a crown. But sorry to bust your bubble, y'all not even highnesses, y'all just trouble, spreading toxic waste in the air like a virus without a care. Y'all want us to see you as excellence, but y'all just a minus, not even relevant. You think you're the leader of the pack, but really you're just holding us back. The younger generation will rise while you continue with your lies. So take a step back and reflect on the way you treat and neglect. Respect is a two-way street. Earn it, don't demand it, or you won't be on your feet. Prayers out for our real men doing what they gotta do. While on this app, we have men of age acting worse than our kids do. Demanding respect by acting a fool. Saying they're the alphas running the pack, but in reality, they're on their knees. Couldn't run the trap, now they're just a tease. So here's a shout out to the real men out there who handle their business without care. While the fake alphas talk a big game, but in the end, they're all just the same. So keep doing you, real men of the world, and let the fake ones continue to twirl in their own little fantasy land while the real men rise rise and take a stand. Prayers out for our real men. May they always shine bright and leave the fake alphas in their own little plight. There once was an ex-cop so old who laid icy tears so cold. He loved the little old lady in the garden. Together they played victim, begging pardon. Mad at a celebrity who didn't care. They protected predators, it wasn't fair. He agreed and took sides with a man in his 40s who admitted to doing inappropriate deeds with a minor. Oh please, oh how do we respect such a man who hurts our angels? It's not the plan. Lost and confused, he needs a hand to find his cucumber, oh so grand. Maybe gardening will teach him so well to be a man and stop the spell. Speaking on woman who didn't bother him, let's help him find his way with a grin. Give him something to tell. In the real world, street justice will be swift for predators to prey on the innocent gift. But on this app, it's a different tale where predators hide behind the digital veil. Men and women admit to their inappropriate deeds. With minors, they praise and protect their misdeeds. While warriors fight to protect our angels online, predators lurk waiting for their next vile crime. To all the warriors, keep standing tall, protecting our kids, never letting them fall. Let's watch over our children with care and show the predators we won't let them dare. Just try it. So keep fighting for our kids' rights and keep them safe from the online frights. Let's show these predators they have no respect and keep our children safe from their neglect. Older folks with no dignity, demanding respect with no humility, thinking they're the bee's knees, but really they're just a bunch of sillies. Bishops preaching from the Bible, but acting like they're in denial. Talking to young men like they're in jail, ignoring coffins in their tail. Grown men gossiping about the dead, forgetting every action has a thread. Demanding respect without honor, thinking they're untouchable online. What a goner. But little do they know, their antics will show. No matter where they hide, their true colors will be spilled. The older men I admire carry themselves with grace. They know who they are and where they're going in this race. They won't bash women, they know when to walk away and when to stand and fight. They show us a better way. Not every battle is meant to be won. They've earned respect with honor, while on this app some older men seek attention, causing drama, arguing with women, bouncing on rainbows it seems. How can we respect that and keep our dreams? Let's learn from the wise and carry ourselves with pride, respecting others, showing love and letting our true selves shine bright. I don't know why men come online and be messy, but women do it too, so let's not get testy. These older folks run plays trying to deceive, but when we catch on, they play the victim. Can you believe? How can we respect those who bully and bash? They turn around and act like they're the ones with the stash. Demanding respect because of their age, forgetting respect has no numbers, it's not a cage. So where do we go from here? I'm at a loss, standing up and fighting back no matter the cost. We won't be pushed around, we won't be swayed. Respect is earned, don't demand it, that's how we'll stay. So let's not be fooled by the games and their lies. We'll stand tall and strong with truth on our side. No more playing the victim, no more meek. We'll rise above with dignity and speak. For in this online world where things can get messy, we'll hold our heads high and always stay classy. Respect is a two-way street, it goes both ways. Oh, these older folks online, I just can't seem to find any respect for them in my mind. They act like freaks, creeps, and predators all the time. I'll stick to my real elders who carry themselves with grace, not those who make me shudder with their online disgrace. I'll look up to those who deserve it, not those who act like fools. I'll keep my distance from the perverts and stick to the golden rules. So to the older men and women online, I'll just say no thanks. I'll keep my respect for those who shine and leave the rest to their pranks. For my real elders, I'll always hold dear, and to the others, I'll just stay clear. I'll keep my distance, have no fear, and let them carry on with their freak show. So here's to respecting our true elders and leaving the rest in the past. I'll keep my distance from the online swindlers and keep my respect for those I trust. I cannot believe, never in my life did I think that I would lose respect for so many elders, like on this app.